This is the part where you can see the intro.
Hello?
Welcome to Ignite with Coach.
Yes. All right. So we got like 4 different key objectives, of course. We got the real estate expert, lead gen, lead follow-up, and the transaction. So the first 4 steps, the first 4 sessions today and tomorrow will be the real estate expert. Now this will kind of go a little bit different than the slides project because it's scheduled and planned for us to do 1 session a day. And do it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 7 weeks, because it's 20 classes. But included in that are things like 20 minutes to go lead gen, 45 minutes to go script practice that we're not really going to do. You're going to do on your own time at home. Hey man, what's going on? Bud? So when Rebecca's not with you, we're struggling.
We got, yeah, that's why.
I understand totally. So Josh, this is Molly. Molly is in the same waiting game. You 2 are in the same waiting game.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Let's wait together.
Yeah. And Josh, you know Elena, and this is Haley.
Hey.
Josh, man.
Good.
Yeah, so the classes today and tomorrow are real estate experts. It's a little bit just foundational. And then Wednesday and Thursday, you're gonna start getting into lead gen, which in my opinion is probably the most important part of real estate. I agree with that. Agents. You know? What would you say, lead gen or transaction, contract to close, Tracy, is the most important thing to learn in real estate?
Give me the 2 choices again.
Lead gen or contract to close?
You're probably lead gen.
As if you can't lead gen, you can't get contract to close. Can you?
Yeah, you will get the contract closed.
Yeah, if you don't have that first appointment, it's kind of hard to get to the rest of it. Then lead follow-up, which if you ever have Amy Brock coach you or teach you, you will hear Fortune is in the follow-up 37 times. But
In one session.
in 1 session, but it is very true. Yeah,
Brainwashing.
yeah, follow-up is key. You can't call somebody once and expect them to be your client forever. Well, they said that 86% of all clients love their realtor and work with them again. And 2 years later, only 15% remember who their realtor was. And that's the realtor's fault. So this one we're starting today is Spark Your Career. Embrace your job, connect with your market, and define your value. I think that might be one of the hardest parts of it because you have to think and talk about yourself. So that's a kind of a hard part there. So we will have planned breaks. You know, about every hour, we're going to stop for about 10 minutes, so y'all can potty or make turn phone calls or whatever you need. It does not mean if you've got to get up for any reason, please don't sit here and wait and do the pee-pee dance until the break time.
Do the Jason Abrams things. Everyone in favor?
Yeah,
Everyone opposed?
or yes or
Motion
yes.
passes.
Does everybody agree? Yes or yes? Yeah. And we will seem like we skip through some of these things pretty fast. But I'm trying to condense a 4-hour class into 2 hours. So if you want me to slow down and explain something more, please ask. Don't hesitate to ask. But Ignite instills in all of us a new way of thinking. It's about having success mindset with no doubts. Mindset's really big. You have to have your mind right to do what I think. Anything you want to do. I mean, if mind's not right when you wake up in the morning as a parent, your kids will notice that all day, whether they tell you, oh, what's going on? They won't tell you that, but your kids will notice it, and you'll notice it at the end of the day. It's hard to have a perfect mindset every day, but it's good to strive to have a good mindset every day. So we'll talk about mindset. We'll talk about the 6 personal perspectives. We'll talk about the KW culture, which is kind of in our mission, vision, and value. We're going to talk about some of the KW resources, that will set you up for success. We'll talk about your career vision and a daily success system that is going to supercharge your business throughout Ignite and beyond. Now that's the daily success system, they're thinking, wow, like stroking through the arm, the daily success systems. You hear that? The daily success systems. They're gonna be essentially your homework. And it's a lead gen is what it is. And it's gonna be harder for you to because you don't have a license yet. So that doesn't mean there's certain things you can't do to help yourself lead gen to get ready. Yeah, and I hate that you're licensed. Molly called this morning, by the way, Josh, and they just pretty much told her whenever.
30 days minimum. It's been 10 since I sent mine.
That's at 30 days. minimum.
30 days. minimum.
How long for you, Josh?
I'm sitting at 22 days. So they never tell me anything. When did you actually, or submit your stuff?
I mailed it in because I never got an email. Well, I did finally after I mailed it,
Mhm.
but they received it on January.
Probably.
It's a struggle.
So it's been 10 days.
Welcome to Eric. There's a quote from one of Gary, this is a quote from one of Gary Keller's books. Gary Keller is the co-founder, if you don't know, and the chairman of KWX, which is like our blanket company. Because we have Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, there's a lot of things under Keller Williams. KWX is the blanket company. So who wants to read it? Haley, you want to read it? Read the quote.
Anyone can do it, not everyone will. Will you?
So what does that make you think?
Oh, it's still on me?
Anybody?
Oh.
Anybody. Anyone can do it. Not everyone will, but will you?
It's simple.
Yeah.
But you just have to do it.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I've been in sales literally 40 years of my life, and it's really all about the Nike slogan. Just do it. Do your daily activities. It's probably 85% of the real estate agents out there do not. And if you go out there and do lead gen to your goals, do a little bit of marketing, do a little bit of prospecting, you will succeed at the level you want to succeed. Like, see, this mouse won't, but I will. And that's pretty much what it is. Will you do what it takes to do every day to be a good realtor? And some days it'll be no. But as long as most of the days it's yes, you'll be just fine. Excuse me. So what they call the keys to success are the 6 personal perspectives. So if you wonder what I'm reading, I've got notes right here. So the 6 personal perspectives are the ways successful people who've come before us think and approach problems or challenges. It's about the mindset of success. These came about from Gary Keller researching successful people in all fields and asking the question, what is it that differentiates those who achieve at the highest level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? From those answers, he discovered these common perspectives. They work in unison, they don't stand alone, and they most effectively work in the order shown. Embracing and committing to all 6 perspectives will help you achieve success in your life and in business. So if you look at them, what's the first one? Is commit to self-mastery. When you hear that, what does that make you think? Commit to self-mastery.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline. Yeah, that's good. Anything else? Anybody else got something to do? I look to it as what's that quote we like, Elena? Amateurs work to get it right, or excuse me, amateurs practice to get it right, and professionals practice to never get it wrong. Does that make sense? It's the difference in for you sports people, Michael Jordan and every other basketball player that steps on the planet. That's why even amongst the greats, there's a few that stand out greater. It's because they practice harder and work harder to master what they're doing. So you've got to know your goals. That's huge. Because if you don't know your goals, you don't know what you're working for, right? You also need to know your strengths and weaknesses. And I think it's almost as more important to know your weaknesses than it is your strengths. Some people, I don't think, understand their weaknesses enough to work through them. Does that make sense? Or to try to get help with them. I know I struggle with that a lot myself. Know how to work with your strengths and weaknesses to seek and master the necessary knowledge, skills, and habits to reach your goals. That's essentially self-mastery. I think there's a little video, you know, the Bruce Hardy video, the Australian guy talks about he's in taking a Taekwondo and they're practicing a putt, and his buddy was a 2-time black belt, 2nd degree black belt. And he was practicing with his buddy, and he said he got ready to do the punch. And when he lunged into the punch, you know, you're supposed to hit him, but miss him. You know, it's like half-inch from the nose. And he said, he got it. He did a perfect punch, and then his buddy fell to the ground because he punched him square in the face. Yeah. But when his buddy got up to do it, he said, you know, he did it. He did the punch. You could hear the gi whip. It hit so hard, and you could feel the air from the punch in his face. But he missed it.
That's
So-
meant for you.
Yeah. So he definitely, you know, one of them could do it, but the other one had mastered it. It's a huge difference in being able to do it and being a master of it. What?
And then just standing there like, here, let me punch you in the face, let me get as close as you can, but I'm not gonna punch you, and then you just get knocked out.
Had that conversation with Devin last night about how stupid boy was. We are, right, Josh? We're done. Do we get smarter as we get older?
Yeah, no,
No.
no, depends on how much you read your Bible.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So the 80-20 principle is the idea that 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results. It may be one of the most powerful principles you can apply in your life. It's about getting the most from your time and effort. It's about maximizing your results. It's about having focus. Oh. You'll sometimes hear the 20%. You'll sometimes hear the 20% activities described in books as your big rocks or your one thing, or your dollar productive activities. Gary Keller has a book out called The One Thing, and he does talk about the 80-20 principle a lot. They can't remember the philosopher that discovered this, but they even said it goes into just about everything we do in life. Like we wear 20% of the clothes in our closet 80% of the time. Would that be a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it kind of relates to just about everything we do in life, the 80-20 principle. In Ignite, we identify your 20% for you. Your dollar productive activity is lead generation. When you commit to this, you will make more money, have more time with your family, and be more organized, which is what we all want. I think in real estate, we all want two things. That's what Jason told us, right? We either want money or time.
Mhm.
Morning, Sherry. Moving from E to P.
Good morning, sorry.
That's okay. The third perspective that top performers recognize and understand is how we move from being E, which is entrepreneurial, to P, purposeful. You know, all of us can attain a certain level of success utilizing our natural abilities, and we can also expect to hit a ceiling at some point. What does that make you think when you think entrepreneurial to purposeful? Does that hit anything for anybody? What entrepreneurial means as opposed to purposeful?
Entrepreneurial to me is kind of like a beginner, because it's something you do without realizing it, like turning something you do for fun into a business, and that's kind of beginner. But when you go to purposeful, you are learning to be more efficient and more professional in what you're doing.
Okay, I like that. Anybody have any other ideas about what entrepreneurial and to purposeful means? I kind of look at it as entrepreneurial would be having the idea, whereas purposeful following through with your idea, which is similar to what Elena just said also. You And sometimes this entrepreneurial, you can see, you can't really hit that ceiling. Also, a lot of times this is people relying on talent without practice. Does that make sense when I say that? Because as a coach, if any of you have been in athletics at all before, you give me 5 people that work hard, I'll beat your 5 talented people any day. Because hard work beats talent every time. Talent doesn't work hard. Do we agree with that? Being learning based, the foundation of your action plan. This is the 4th perspective. Being learning based. A learning based individual appreciates learning for their own improvement. They know what they know and know there's always more to know. An individual does not appreciate learning. Excuse me, an individual who does not appreciate learning is what's referred to as ignorance based. They know what they know and ignore everything else. Is there anybody in here who would openly admit that they're ignorance based? Some of the time with certain things,
Some of the
Yeah,
time,
with
for
certain-
sure.
then me for sure. But I guess at your core, would you say that you're all learning based?
In most things in my life, I mean, I'm
Yeah, that'd be very good. You know, I've always, I struggled with it at the beginning of my sales career, actually. You know, my dad was in sales and he was out of college. So I got to hear, I was in sales training from the time I was born until I started in sales at 13 years old. So when I started in sales, even at 13, I had the confidence / arrogance that no matter what I did was the right thing to do. And it took me a long time to learn that I only knew about this much. I knew, you know, the very tip of the iceberg. As it said on the previous slide, I was trying to work more on talent than knowledge and experience. Does that make sense? But once we both learned to learn, learn to learn. But once we both, my father and I both learned that we needed to learn. You know, we opened our own business in '94. It still took us till about '97 or '98 to understand what we really needed to do to make the business grow like we wanted it to grow. You know, we still had a lot of pitfalls, but we understood what we needed to do, understood that learning was good. And move forward. I think the hardest thing to understand too is that anybody can learn from anybody. Like the most seasoned agent on this call, which is probably Tracy, you know, could probably learn something from Molly, who would be the newest in repetition, because Josh did his license a little bit before you. But anybody can learn from anybody. There's always tidbits that somebody can learn to make themselves just a little bit better. Ignite is just the start for you as a learning-based individual. You'll learn about many more activities and opportunities available from Keller Williams. What we got there, Elena?
I'm neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I'm only very, very curious.
I like that one a lot. You see, you said it.
Albert.
Pretty smart guy. I would disagree with the clever part or the gifted part. His IQ was off the charts, but that last part, though, if you're very, very curious, I'm a terrible reader. I'm just gonna throw it out there for those of you who don't know me. I hate to read. It's a harsh word, hate, but it's factual. It's anytime I sit down to read, I can think about 200 things I'd rather read in them. But I have learned that I love to research. And I think if I was a high schooler in today's world, with every piece of knowledge available to you in the palm of your hand every day, right? I can learn anything I want to. What do high schoolers do?
Google.
TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat, right? Am I close? Is
Yeah, I
there
don't
any of
know.
them that I'm missing? You know, that,
Honestly, don't know.
you don't know? You're the closest. You're the closest. But I look at it that way. I think if I was in school, I'd have been the kid, they would say, you can't have your phone during this test. Because I would have been researching and figuring out what I could do. But I was a huge geek. I was a little bit different. I was scared of people. Why are you laughing? You You don't see that in me being scared of people, I'm terrified of people. I didn't have my first date until I was 19 years old. Scared, terrified,
Well, you got over it.
maybe. You don't know what's going on inside here. You know? Which I hope it carries on to my plane flight I've got to take here in about 2 or 3 weeks. Plane flight. So we're done there. I'm especially terrified of planes, and I've got to fly to Anaheim on the 16th. Videos ensuing. Amy Adams will be on the plane with me. There will be pictures, there will be videos. I'll be having a panic attack on the plane. Sorry. Cool. But if you're very, very curious, even in this real estate career, and you try to get just a little bit better every day, you're going to succeed. It's a fact. Remove limiting beliefs. So I'm just going to throw this out there because the limiting beliefs, we all have those also. We all have the negative thoughts. Well, that can't be done. I'm just going to read those on there. I don't have enough time for training. I can't be successful in this market. I can't devote 3 hours each day to lead gen. See, my athletic coach in me, and I know Josh was involved in this too. All those, the can'ts and the don'ts, just punch you right in the face, don't you? It's because it should just say, I don't want to. Does that make sense? Because you can't. People say, well, it works in New York City, but it can't work here. That's false. It can work here. You just think it can't work here. And I don't disagree that our mindset, not just in real estate in Western Kentucky, we're kind of in a bubble. We're about 20 years behind in everything. Does anybody disagree with that? And I think we kind of embrace it a little bit, right? I think in any sales, but particularly real estate, if you stick your neck out a little bit and try to do something different that you're seeing in the bigger markets, you're going to succeed at a super high level in real estate here. And you'll do it quickly also. Oh, didn't mean to do that one. Sorry, guys. So what would be a limiting belief you have right now coming into real estate for you newbies? Something that scares you or you don't think you're going to be able to do?
Lead generating scares the heck out of me.
Doesn't?
Mhm.
That's fair. It scares a lot of people. Thank you.
Go, like doing a listing presentation and going up against a seasoned agent. Being new, like, why would somebody pick me?
And you know what you just said there first, doing the listing presentation will cause you to beat that seasoned agent because 95% of the agents don't do it. Tony Strickland is probably the number 3 agent in Western Kentucky. And Amy beat her out on the listing solely because Amy came prepared with the listing presentation and Tony came and walked in and
Assume the win.
assume
Assume
the win. Yeah. Never assume the win.
Yeah.
You might lose some, but if you come in prepared, that person will say, I did pick Elena, but dang, Molly came in prepared, ready to go, and that person still may refer you to another client. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Always be prepared. That's you. Lead gen, it's scary for a lot of people. One, people hate rejection by nature. It's gonna happen. That's probably why I didn't date. See, I had years of lead gen practice because I got rejected a lot. A lot. But truthfully, that's the biggest fear in lead gen. Am I wrong? Is rejection.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Or the person telling you, I don't want to talk to you in less kinder words. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just like in having kids. Your kid one day is going to look at you and call you the dumbest person on the planet. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're an idiot. It's going to happen.
It is already.
It's already his mother's doing it. And it's going to hurt the first time. The second time it won't as much because it's not about you in lead gen. But with lead gen, it's not about you. It's about them putting up their wall to keep somebody from coming in and, just like you do when you get the phone call from the car warranty people. Do you answer it? Do you answer calls you don't recognize?
Yeah, I usually do. so.
Yeah. When you get in
Unless it's from
sales,
Jamaica or
yeah.
something.
when you get in sales, that's gotta change. Because when you don't recognize that phone number, that could be a referral calling. You know, that could be somebody calling, wanting to look at one of your houses. So that does change a little bit. Removing limiting beliefs is hard. Did I just change it again without, before I wanted to? Removing limiting beliefs, I think, is the hardest thing. And it's harder for old people like me than it is gonna be for younger people like you. But you will, you'll see what works and you'll start to, those walls will start to break down a little bit. Lead gen is scary, but you'll be just fine at it. You're just fine. Terrified me. I started doing it when I was 14 too. So that's a funny story about me is when I was in the first grade is when I learned I could sell. Because from, you know how, I don't know if they still do the kids in school, they almost make them salespeople for the year, you know. Go sell Boston butts, go sell
yeah.
candles, go sell this. Our school had a chili supper, it was our big deal. We sold chili supper tickets every year and we raised a lot of money. So we had to sell tickets to chili supper. And from first grade to 8th grade, I won every year.
Wow.
It's in sales. So I won a whole silver dollar.
Mhm.
But I did it because I delegated. I gave tickets to my dad to sell at the golf course. I gave tickets to my mom to sell when she was working and she used to do hair. My grandmother when she was at work. So I delegated and ended up winning a little bit. Leverage is something we're going to learn later in Ignite. But lead gen, it is scary, but it is good. It's a good thing. Relationship building. So the 6th one is being accountable. So what does being accountable mean to you? Scary also. Holding yourself accountable is pretty scary. And how does it feel to have an accountability partner for those of you that have a partner or somebody who's holding you accountable? Scary stuff. And what you'll learn is if you can't hold yourself accountable, a partner will never do it for you. It's, you two can reach out to each other once a week and go, yep, I made my 10 phone calls today. And you might only make 4 all week, you know, but you told them you did. You got to hold yourself accountable before somebody else can hold you accountable. All right, Molly, you get to read this one. It's easy.
Happiness is not an individual sport.
Now, this is about happiness, but it applies to business as well. Do you agree?
It's kind of like a rephrase of our no one succeeds alone.
Mhm. It is. Has anybody heard of Sean Acor?
Such a player.
Well, he spoke at Family Reunion last year. If those of you don't know, Family Reunion is our national convention that happens every February. It takes Valentine's Day away from every color orientation. It's always right around Valentine's Day. But he came and talked, he did an 1.5-hour speech about happiness. And he got his degree from Harvard. And he now tours the world talking to Fortune 500 companies, top leaders, athletes about happiness. So I would highly recommend reading one of his books. I think it's called The Happiness Advantage.
Mhm.
And it talks about how happiness improves your business. I mean, it's a given that it improves your life. But it says like, you know, happy humans they're more productive, they're more creative, they're better problem solvers. And they're even healthier because you're less stressed when you're happy. So, you know, it says embrace being accountable. You'll find a mentor, a coach, a partner to help you be accountable and be happy. Oh, I got a chat that I missed. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, Kelsey. Any ahas so far at all? Do we know what ahas are? What was one of your favorite things you learned from Baldwin, man?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Mine was that AHA stands for agents, helping agents. That interesting? But were there any ahas in the beginning of that? No, we didn't cover a whole lot. 6 personal perspectives are a full class on its own, to be truthful. And you guys on the screen are allowed to talk. I do have you set on speaker so everybody can hear you. No ahas at all? Anything you want to share from that? Other than we're still waking up a little bit. I think if we turn the lights down out there, 3 of you be asleep for it.
It was a long weekend.
Yeah.
What was the one, the limited beliefs?
Limiting beliefs.
That was. That hits home with me because I've like growing up in sports and stuff, like it's always a mental block that you gotta get past.
Yeah.
And once you break down that mental block, it's why did I stay on this side of the wall for so long? Whenever all I had to do was just do it. And so
Yeah, I remember having it playing high school basketball with the team in the region that always won the region. You know, you're not even fighting the kid that might be going to UK that plays on that team. You're fighting the jersey, and you have that limiting belief that there's no way we can beat them. But then you do. Oh, so that's how we had to do it. It's possible. It's all possible. Any other ahas? Limiting beliefs are scary too. Scary to get through those. All right. So KW is big on mindset. It is also big on models and systems based on the proven success strategies of those who found success before us. It's really huge. You know, a lot of these things that we teach is because other people have done them before and succeeded at a high level. You know, why reinvent the wheel when we can roll it to you, right? Our job is to take advantage of this collective wisdom so we can be highly successful as well as make this our chosen career. There's an entire page devoted to culture on KW Connect, which you guys will learn when you get your license. It's our company intranet. Culture is the #1 reason people say they choose Keller Williams. Today, we'll focus on a few elements of culture: the MVVBP, Red Day, KW Cares, and KW Kids Can. All right, Elena, say that really fast, the top one.
MVVP.
So our mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective is the MVVBP. This is our mission statement. Sherry, are you on your computer? Oh, I just looked at everybody. Kelsey is illegally driving. Y'all can't see that, but I can. Sherry, are you there?
I am on my computer, but I was having a hard time getting my mouse to that screen. What would you like for me to do? Do you want me to read that?
Read the mission, yep.
To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
I like it. What does that make you guys think? Any sentence or all of that resonate with you at all?
Lives worth living.
Yeah, you like that one? I do too. One that hits for me is legacies worth leaving, because it immediately makes me think leaving something just on the small factor for my son. And but on the big factor, you know, everybody wants, you know, after you're gone, for people to still think about you a little bit. This is our belief system. You will hear Y4C2Ts. Every once in a while, there's a big sticker on the wall out here that's got it on there. What's that first one, Elena?
Win-win or no deal.
What you'll see is every one of these are not necessarily just for business, but you can use these in life, right? Haley,
Integrity, do the right thing.
that just makes me think of my grandmother. Having a mother. Yeah, and a
Oh,
couple of
that's what
knots,
I'm saying.
a few knots that I might have like here, here. Couple back here, it was always said, you always want to do the right thing, even if nobody's watching. Or as my grandmother would say, you always act like everybody's always watching. You always want to do the right thing. You're going to be out in the field in real estate, and you're going to have the realtors say, well, what if we just do it this way and try to get around doing that? We always do it the right way. Follow the law, follow the book. We're going to do it the right way. We want to hold ourselves as the standard. Does that make sense? Molly, what's that one?
Customers always come first.
That is true. Does that mean customers are always right? Nope. Means they come first though. That means you got to be honest with them. Educate them on what's right. Josh?
Commitment in all things.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right, isn't it?
Mhm.
If you're gonna halfway do something, you probably shouldn't do it, should you? Even if this is something you're wanting to do on the side and just have a few closings a year, you can still do that right. I mean, not everybody in this wants to do it and sell 50 homes a year. Does that make sense? But what parts you want to do, whatever your goals are, you can still do it the right way. I would ask Kelsey to read one, but I don't want her to hit the card in front of me. Tara, can you read the next one?
Communication, seek first to understand.
I love that one a lot.
Mhm.
What does that make you think? Even personal or business?
You can't communicate until you first understand where they're coming from, or what they're trying to relay over to you.
Yeah.
You just jump off to the first, you just jump off the handle, then you're not gonna be communicating, you're gonna be fighting on them.
Yeah, I like that. Don't be reactive. You think about the times where you or the person you're talking to has just snapped something that you said, which I'm sure has never happened to anybody. None of us has ever reacted immediately without thinking, right? Right. If you step back and try to think about why is this person acting like this, especially when you're lead generating, why are they reacting like this? Not because of me. Something else is going on. But when you learn to do that at a higher level, you're never going to be perfect at that. You find me the person that's perfect at that, and they're probably in a big white robe at the Vatican.
Well, and I also think it comes into play when you're trying to find out with buyers and sellers what it is that they're really looking for and getting down to their motivation. So if you don't communicate with them well, you can't really understand why they're wanting to buy something or why they're looking for that unicorn you'll never find to help them look for a pony instead.
I love that. Ponies are still pretty cool. Yeah, some clients will tell you, I have a $200,000 budget, I want 3 acres, waterfront with 5 bedrooms. And a dock with a boat.
That I can put a mobile home on.
Right, yeah, that I can put them all on, yeah, exactly right. So you always want to understand where the people you're communicating with are coming from. And what Sherry was kind of explaining is their big why. Find out why do they want to buy this house? And that'll help you break down what they really need. Let's see, well, Sherry, you want to read the next one?
Sorry, I had to unmute. Creativity, ideas before results.
Yes. What does that make you think?
It makes me think whatever you tell us it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be that you give Ben $20 a day.
Oh, that's Elena's job.
Oh.
Thank you, Sherry.
Does that really resonate with anybody at all? Ideas before results? What does that make you think?
Oh, the word creativity was throwing me off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that sometimes you just have to, you have to come up with ideas. Maybe it's an open house. And maybe you need to come up with some ideas to get some people to come in. So you're gonna have those ideas to try and get to the outcome of what you're wanting. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think so. The way it reads to me is that you have to go from A to Z, not jump from A to Z. You have to have the idea, which is A, and then you have to build upon it to get the results, which would be Z. You can't expect to wake up and think, oh, I'm going to do this, and by the end of the day, the results are going to be there. You have to have the idea, then you have to nurture the idea to get the result.
Kind of like those people who, you know, you'll see all the time where they jump on weight loss programs for
Yes.
like a week and they're like, I haven't lost any weight. Well, you didn't, like, you're not gonna get the results if you didn't, you know, put in the work for the results.
Right.
So that's kind of what, to me, it says, because if you're not creative and come up with the ideas and then put the work behind those ideas, you're not gonna get the results you want.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Tracy, you still with us? You want to read the first T?
Teamwork together, everyone achieves more.
You love that one? What do you love about that one, Elaine?
When I first started, Amy told me that anyone who wants to work hard enough can make it to the top. And with Keller Williams together, that everyone does achieve more because we share knowledge, and when you share knowledge, you can help others. You know, it's kind of like a give and take, but I mean, we all kind of walk up the ladder together in a way, as long as you're sharing and it's teamwork, and because when one person wins, we all win.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's exactly what the mindset of Keller Williams is.
Mhm.
We help each other succeed. And we know that there's market share out there. I mean, literally everybody in this room is in competition with everybody else. But last year we had 15.5% of the market share. That means there's 85% of market share to take from other people, not ourselves, right? And we understand that. We understand that as a company, and we want to help everybody succeed, and we want to celebrate everybody's successes. And I do think that's one thing that sets us apart at the core of us. And there are, you know, people out there that celebrate other people's successes in the real estate business, which is great. But I don't think it's at the core of their company. Does that make sense?
Right.
Let's see, the second T, back to you, Elaine.
Trust starts with honesty.
There you go. Pretty cut and dry. Can't be honest with your clients.
You can't be honest with yourself.
You can't be honest with yourself, you're really gonna struggle.
But then you know me, I'm already too honest, so I don't think.
This is very true. Very true. But, you know, being honest with your clients doesn't always mean making them feel better. It means being honest with them. Sometimes you have to have those hard conversations. You know, their foundation is only gonna last another 30 seconds. Haley, you wanna do the E, which is brand new. This is from 2019.
That say equity,
It says equity.
opportunities for all.
And I questioned it myself when it first came out, because I said, shouldn't that be equality?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I thought like,
So, and what I learned, so I got educated. The difference in equity and equality is the best thing I've seen on it is you see a picture of a fence. And there's three people of three different heights that are trying to see over the fence. Right?
Mhm.
So equality means you give them all the same size box. You're giving everybody the same. I might be able to see over the fence. But Anna probably wouldn't, because Anna's 5 feet tall. So that box may not have lifted her enough. Equity means you give everybody what they need to succeed. So Anna's box might be this big, where my box might be this big, where Elena's box might be this big. Does that make sense? So equity means you're giving everybody the opportunity to succeed. Molly, you get the last one.
Success results through people.
How about that one? What do we hear with that one? Results through
You can't
people.
have success without making connections with people and talking to people and people.
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 Somebody hit Molly back in the head, she's stuck.
But when you think about it, it's like no matter what business or what kind of career you're in, it always comes back to people because people spread the word about your business. You serve people in your business, no matter what business you're in. So your success really does depend on the people and how you treat them.
It's very true. It also can, works in leverage. You have success through people you leverage. And when you're in this business, you're gonna have success because of your family. Like your spouses will sometimes have to make sacrifices for you to do your business, just like you're gonna have to make sacrifices for your spouses to do business. Josh has got to make his spouse show up on time to classes sometimes.
Ready.
We pick. Rebecca's a really good realtor, but we pick. So what do you think? What do we think about all of these? The Y4CTT? I mean, this is our company's belief system. It's been that way for 35 years. Yes, the company's starting good. It is good, it really is. But any issue you have, personal, business, you can relate to one of these and step back and think about it. All right, and win-win or no deal, both sides aren't winning, you shouldn't do the deal. You definitely don't want to be a taker, right? And it's no fun always being the giver either. You always have to have a win-win. Anything else about the Y4CTT? Do we wish we did these classes from 12 to 4 instead of 8 to 12? Red Day. The entire company sets aside the second Thursday of every May to renew, energize, and donate within the communities we serve. That is around Mo Anderson's birthday, who is, I don't know what she's one of the, I think the vice president of our company right now. Her birthday this year, she'll be the 86 years old, a very healthy, spry 86-year-old.
Very energetic.
Very energetic. Very energetic. But the entire company shuts down for a day and they go out and serve the community. It's not to say that we don't want to do that throughout the year in other situations, but on this specific day, we go out and serve the community.
So how did that start? Is that was what she wanted to do like on her birthday, or was that just like how did that catch on?
It caught on because she was the initial ambassador of it, so that's why they did it on her around her birthday. And also because the weather in May is usually,
Fair. Mayweather's doing that.
yes. Yeah. And we do different things. We've gone to the Boys and Girls Camp and cleaned up the camp to get it ready. During COVID, we went and filled up the blessing boxes all over Western Kentucky. We took gifts to the
Fish Ministries. I was like starships.
last year we did how many backpacks did we do? We filled backpacks for Star.
See?
Yes. Starfish Ministries, who gave the backpacks to kids that were going to school that couldn't really afford the supplies. So yeah, and that was quite a bit that we gave also. And another thing that kind of resonates with is the tornado relief that we had in Western Kentucky. I know you all weren't here with Keller Williams when it happened, but you might have seen some posts. I know Rebecca was, but when you see agents, not the company, but agents gather 3 semi-truck loads of supplies and clothes and food and 3 box trucks and 16 SUV trips multiple times and the whole box truck full of presents for Christmas in Mayfield, Christmas in Mayfield, and 40 agents coming down for a week at a time. There's from all over the country to help clean Mayfield on their own dime. You know, it wasn't a company doing it. They just jumped in cars and came. Things like that that make KW set itself apart from other companies. So KW cares. When you have a closing, if you haven't had a closing yet, when you do your offers and commissions, which is what we call the sheet to fill out to get you paid, there's a section on there for KW cares. And every closing, if you so choose, you can donate anywhere from a nickel to whatever you want to KW cares. And what KW cares is a foundation within Keller Williams built to help Keller Williams agents and sometimes more in certain situations. Like when the hurricane hit Florida recently, there was a KW Market Center and a bunch of agents that were literally blown away. So they started sending semis down there and poured $3 million into the community. You know, help get their agents back on their feet. For our tornado relief, we didn't have a market center directly affected. We didn't have an agent directly affected. Yvonne Perkins, one of our agents in Paducah, her daughter's house in Mayfield, her apartment in Mayfield was destroyed. So KW Cares wrote her a $5,000 check. No questions asked. Just filled out a piece of paper, emailed it. A couple days later, she had $5,000 in her account to help her out. There's always stories about like an agent. There's I think one I remember is a single mom of 3 kids, middle kid comes up with cancer. And Keller Williams paid for every bit over the insurance, what the insurance wouldn't pay for all the cancer treatment recovery for that child, as well as helping out for the mother. You know, they do a lot. You know, they do a lot. And we built homes from the ground up, you know, gathered and distributed food to those who needed it, organized relief efforts when natural disasters hit. They do a lot. And KW Kids Can is dedicated to empowering young adults to unlock their greatest potential. So there's a class called the Quantum Leap. It's an amazing class. Linda will teach it once or twice a year. But there's also a part of that that's focused toward kids that we teach. Really good stuff. It says KW Cares actually can provide financial grants and aid when the unforeseen emergencies occur, and is giving away millions in support. KW Kids Can is a nonprofit dedicated to empowering young adults to unlock their greatest potential through self-development events, coaching, and scholarships. So, and you can donate to any of these as much or little as you want to. Any ahas around that? Did you know that, Josh, about any of that stuff?
No, but that's amazing. Something that I'm proud that I'm going to be a part of.
Yeah, the Red Day, you'll love it. It's fun to see everybody get together.
Bright red.
Bright red, we're red, sure. But it's really neat to see everybody get together and do something that it was really. You know, I'm gonna go back to the tornado relief a lot, but we had so many times where all of our agents just organized something on their own. You know, like Leslie Heath had, hey, let's all make sandwiches and just go deliver them for lunch to as many people we can. So she had the idea to maybe make 30 or 40 sandwiches. We ended up delivering probably 250. Yeah. So, and Sarah Riley now, she decided, you know, she's going to take pizzas to people who needed it. And she did a GoFundMe. She said, I want to take 20 pizzas. Does anybody want to donate? She ended up taking 300. So many people donated. So, and for those of you who don't know, she was also integral in the Christmas in Mayfield, getting it together. She actually got to be on NBC Nightly News. Yeah, she did quite a bit. She ended up becoming our cultural ambassador for the region in her first year. So that's a huge deal. They pulled her on stage in Mega Camp and she was hugely terrified. And there were 15,000 people in Mega Camp's audience. And she had to be singled out and on stage in front of everybody. She was not prepared. Any other ahas about the Red Day or KW Cares or Kids Cares.
Okay, sounds cool.
It is cool. And I actually would like to, maybe offer that class here, to try to find a way to teach the quantum leap for kids here. It's, and when you say kids, it's not necessarily like 5-year-olds, it's more like teens, maybe pre-teen. And even up to the young 20s. Or we take a 10-minute break, how's that? What's
Maybe.
Megan? Take about 10-minute break. Do we need a break to stretch yet? Yeah. Take about 10 minutes. 9:13, we'll got.
Okey dokey.
Excuse me. Halfway on pace. Halfway through, about halfway through. Not being boring yet.
Not bad.
Not too bad. You've heard all this information before. It makes it a little different. These first couple of days isn't to help you sell, it's more to help you understand.
You watch the game yesterday?
I did. I'm a Steeler fan, so I'm glad the Bengals lost. But I had to root for the Bengals because my wife and her kids are all Bengals fans. The Eagles game was terrible.
Yeah, I seen that. That was not a fun one to watch.
No.
I thought that was good.
Yeah. Morning. At the end of the day, that Brock Purdy getting hurt, I don't know if it really affected them that much. Because the Eagles still scored 31 points.
I don't think the whole defense wins championships did not go in their favor.
No.
Because they're number one in every single
Yeah.
aspect, the 49ers, but so is the Eagles offense.
It's hard to stop a good running game, I think. Interesting. Super Bowl will be interesting.
Yeah,
Chiefs like to throw it. Eagles like to run it.
plus Mahomes is hurt. Too.
And 2 weeks is gonna be huge for him. Oh, excuse me, Molly.
No, you're fine.
My girlfriend, and she said she doesn't know she's gonna be able to make it tonight because it's supposed to be like starting at 3 p.m. snow and ice. So she said she does not do snow and ice.
Oh,
She said if weather gets bad, then she's not.
Only having it for her. No, not a bad idea. It's supposed to start at 3 o'clock.
That's what she says, yeah. Moving about school, buses, and all that.
I mean, it feels like 27 right now. That's not too bad.
It's pretty bad. I don't like it.
That's the more girl, so
Eric's saying
so there's not me.
Me too.
Yeah,
It makes me want to like go to sleep or hibernate, yeah.
it's gonna be bad that we just won't have it. I'm not gonna make people get out in it. Sure.
Well, let me know before 6.
No, I'll tell you at 6, right when we start. I got Brady Kendall from Loan Depot coming.
I see him once a week out. I had no ring on, I forgot, so I just like went through my other hand.
Rebecca got the kiddos this morning.
No, so we do early, so they're at Kingdom Kids,
Okay.
3 and 5, so early drop off is at 8, and so Rebecca is not a morning person.
Oh, no, she's not.
If she could sleep 12, 14 hours.
Me too. I have to get up at 6 o'clock for these classes. And I haven't woke up at 6 o'clock in a very long time.
Usually good with like 4, 5 hours.
Oh.
I can do the same. I can stay up 12, 1 o'clock, and get up at 6 o'clock.
If I sleep too much, that's whenever I get much.
Yeah,
I guess
but
it's just how you train the body.
yeah, I mean, I kind of think if I sleep 7, 8 hours, I feel draggy all day. My morning coffee is a shower.
Yeah.
If I get up, take a shower, I'm ready to go. It's at 4 AM, 6 AM, whatever. Once I have my shower, it's ready to go.
Well, the one thing I'm gonna struggle with is with real estate is, my whole life, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I've always had a steady job, you know, go to work, come home. And then we had our own business for a while. And that kind of gave me a wake up call, but I've always had constant good income.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be a struggle for me.
Well, you could do, I mean, you could still treat it just the same.
Yeah, I mean.
Time block your day, do,
I'm gonna have to, because I mean, since us having a renovation business, like, I have to figure out these things. It's gonna be different ways, but also kind of the same, I guess.
yeah.
It'll help that I have Rebecca to do it with.
Oh, wait a minute, are you a smoker?
No,
No? Okay, just
I'm
checking.
an ex-smoker.
An ex-smoker?
I hate it. I hate it.
Well, yeah, anybody.
So my husband does,
It is
it
what it
literally
is.
drives me nuts.
He smokes.
Babes.
Why does it drive you nuts?
I just don't like it. I don't know, like. I don't know. And I think it's, I don't know.
No, it's fine.
But like, he wants to go to the store and buy vapes like every day because he's like, well, I lost it. Well, I don't know where it's at. Well, I don't know. Like literally, we wake up in bed and there's a vape between us every time. Like, what the heck are you doing? Why is it in our bed?
You may need to hit it 2 in the morning, you never know.
Like, that's the first thing he does in the morning.
Is it?
Yes.
Does he put any weed in that vape? Is that what's happening?
He does not. No.
Did he used to smoke?
Yes, a long time ago. And I guess I get it. That's why, but
So he used it to quit? And that's what I did. I mean, I don't know if you, can count it like that, but.
Yeah.
Stop for me. There you go.
Anyway, it feels better. It seems better. It
Yeah.
doesn't smell bad.
All right, is everybody back?
Yes, welcome back.
Thank you. I figured I should mute when we start talking about weed. Share.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about me or something and you just didn't want me to hear.
No, if I was talking about you, I'd definitely share it.
Oh, we're good friends then.
Yes, because you're awesome. I wouldn't say anything bad about you anyway. Tracy is awesome, by the way. She knows a lot. She's a great realtor. And a great,
Master rapper.
and a great person. She is a master rapper. Her and Elaine is the one that wrapped my office for Christmas. You all saw that post on Facebook.
What kind of rapping are we talking
I thought you were talking about hip hop.
Oh,
Hey, Tracy, get down.
She could do that too.
all right, let's hear it, Tracy. That's not a rap. Nope, no rap coming. She raps instrumental.
I saw that you like left some of it up so that you could always think about us.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that Tracy? I'm sorry.
I said, I saw that you left some of it up so you could always think of us.
That is true. That is true. I did.
We
Well,
say,
Ginger- Yeah, Ginger actually took it down for me and she couldn't reach those at the very top, so I'll have to get the ladder to get up there.
that's a tall ladder.
It is a tall ladder.
It doesn't move around your office very well.
I'll get a smaller one for next year. How's that?
We appreciate that.
Okay. Okay. If you didn't see Molly, they every,
Elena, you did hear that, didn't you?
Yes,
That it's
that's
a tradition now. It's a tradition every year.
every millimeter of my office was wrapped in Christmas. Walls,
even
desks.
the teeny tiny bean bags on his office
Yeah.
desk.
Yeah, I've got a cornhole board about like this big, bean bags. They wrapped the board, bean bags,
That is so good.
everything was wrapped. And they are now famous statewide with Keller Williams agents because everybody that I have on my Facebook page saw it and shared it with their office and they thought it was amazing.
We have gotten so many people asking us to do it coming into their boss's office. So,
Oh, that's hilarious.
so we got every square inch.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Good news is I like to share the love back, so it'll be fun. Oh, yeah,
I think what was worse than we knew it was making
very many, there's no doubt.
But he didn't suspect Tracy at all because
did
she's
not.
like,
I did not.
Miss Innocent. Rest there's me, just so proud.
All right,
Becca.
take a right. This next section, we're gonna talk about how Keller Williams is a global company and your local market center provide value to you and your clients. So since 1983, Keller Williams has cultivated an agent-centric, technology-driven, education-based culture that rewards agents as stakeholders. Yes. Yeah, again, all you have to do is practice by reading Dr. Seuss in front of people. I can give you a couple of books. You can take them to your kids' school and read them to the class. What they made me do on Dr. Seuss's birthday. and
That's what I'm
Benjamin's
doing in Florence.
birthday. Yeah, all right. All right.
Yep.
I'll give you the book to read.
Okay.
It's amazing. But Keller Williams is the world's largest global real estate franchise by agent count, has more than 1,100 offices, more than 200,000 agents. KW is also #1 in units, sales volume in the United States, and at the forefront of technology, training, and culture. KWX is the holding company of Keller Williams and is composed of Keller Williams Worldwide, Keller Manage, Keller Offers, and Keller Home Financial Services that consist of Keller Mortgage and Keller Cover, all of which are designed to serve you, the agent, and your clients. Now, some of those are in Kentucky and some are not. Like, Keller Mortgage, I know is in Kentucky, and Keller Cover might be. Good morning. How are you? Good. So these are just some of the awards Keller Williams won. Of course, they haven't determined all the 22 ones. I do know we got the top 15 happiest places to work in 2022.
I would agree.
These statistics are from year end of 21, and updated stats may be found at headquarters.kw.com/awards. And I'm sure we'll update them for you. And happily brag about them throughout the year. So how do you think this would benefit you and your customers? Yep. Who you work with matters. That is exactly right. You can let them know about all the services they offer. You know, Keller Mortgage, like any mortgage company, has its pros and cons. But it does have what I think if you get a $150,000 home, they offer $1,500 back on closing costs. So their rates are definitely comparable to any other. It doesn't hurt to throw it in there as one of the options.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you can always use this, Keller Williams stats, like for you new agents, when you're going to listing presentations or buying presentations, you don't have your own stats yet, use the office stats. Let them know, not only were we number one, we're one more than 2, 3, and 4 combined. And you just let them know when you're working with a Keller Williams agent, you're working with the best, whether around a newer agent or a seasoned agent. Keller Williams is known for its coaching and training, having earned top awards from Training Magazine over 4 years to enter their exclusive Hall of Fame. KW recognizes the importance and value of training like this class, coaching programs, bold, that many agents will take twice a year.
Not twice a year.
They'll take it twice a year.
No.
So
Are
bold.
we doing it again?
Yeah, we'll do it sometime this year. Yes. Bold is like a real estate boot camp. Is that a good way to describe it, Elena? Do you think? It's a 8-week course. It's 1 day a week, all day, like a 9 to 4 class that will essentially prepare you for your mindset, your goals, scheduling your day.
And you have homework for every single day of the week.
You'll have homework every day of the week.
And you have to report it in front of everybody.
Yeah, and you'll have a group that you work with, like 6 or 7 at a table, that's your team. You'll have to report to your team, which reports to the class. You'll have weekly goals. You'll know if you met your goals or not, and you have to help the table reach their goals. And then they're brought up into the class.
Right.
Yep, your strikes, you have to get your strikes back by doing things. Yeah, it's a real estate boot camp.
Was there one in 2022?
In Clarksville.
There's one in
Did any of our
Clarksville.
people
They
do
did
that?
one in Beaver Dam. I think Kimberly went to the one in Clarksville. Mhm.
I think Steve did.
Yes. You're correct. Yep. So training is offered in several ways to make it as accessible as possible. So you can access content on KW Connect, which is our intranet, Connect Live, and our live and on-demand video library. Short videos are offered live daily on Connect Live, and there's also a complete on-demand library that comprises hundreds of hours of market of the moment training by the best in the business. They also have YouTube channels you can get on that are open to anybody, of course. And all of our classes, like this one, will also be uploaded onto YouTube probably after all these classes are over. Because it is a process to upload them. These classes like Ignite are offered in your market center classroom or digitally. KW also offered classes at the regional and international level, like the Jason Abrams class that we just went to. It's kind of phenomenal. When you think back to the 6 personal perspectives, which one applies to this category, do you think?
Self-mastery.
Self-mastery? I would agree. Any other one?
Be accountable.
Be accountable, yeah. It would be learning based. So how would you like a personal assistant that would stay connected with your clients and potential clients, remind you of deadlines, appointments, and who to connect with each day, track the progress of each deal, and in real time project your income at no extra cost to you?
I
Nope,
can't wait to get into that.
nobody would wait, nobody.
I will love it.
Yeah, you love it. We call K-Rick
One
again
of
for you.
these days.
We'll call K-Rick right now. Molly told me to call. Yeah, well, you already have it with KW's technology. You know, KW believes that technology exists to simplify everyday life, making room for what truly matters and giving you the freedom to be more human and more present. So when you all get a chance to explore it, you'll understand what all the possibilities are. Actually, after family reunion, they're gonna grow exponentially. They promise a lot of amazing releases into command after family reunion, which is now just a couple weeks away. And they already put opportunities in the app. You can now move opportunities in the app.
I really like that. I just gotta figure out how to better. do that. I think my favorite part though is like when you do opportunities, it says, like it shows how many you have in each category, like under contract, active, and then showing all that. That shows projected income, gross income.
Helps you plan and project, it really does. It is motivating. So of course, the command app, we're just talking about it. It's one easy way to do it is an easy way to get contacts into your database. Because you can move them very easily from your phone to your command app. But it's a smaller scale command. You can email, text, and call your database directly from command. And if you do that, it'll keep up with your notes and your timeline if you did make that call or send that email that day. So you can see every time that you've reached out and touched your database. In the favorite one you see down there at the very bottom, it shows your profit share. I got a nice profit share, $4,500 profit share. I'm sure that's exactly what it was. It wasn't typed in there for the picture. See, this app is for your consumers and you. This is the, as much as I hate to say it, it's the app that we have, it's like the Zillow app, where you can do home searches. It actually does show when they're under contract in here also. One really good thing is you can go into the back end. You log in yourself as a consumer. You go into the back end and you can choose yourself as an agent. And then when you share the app, whoever receives the app and downloads it, you are automatically their agent when they download it. So when they log in or create a login, you now have a contact in your command because it connects to command directly. So when they go searching for homes, if they favorite a home, you get that notification in command. Oh, John Smith is looking for 3-bedroom houses on the lake. You know, like John Smith.
No, so I need to figure out, I need you to show me how to do that, because mine goes to Kelly and not to command. So then it won't let me into my Kelly account.
I'm not
see
Kelly.
it.
Kelly didn't even, not even.
Well, I need to do there once
Yeah.
I get to command, because I can see it pop up, but then when I try to log into Kelly, it just says. It won't let me in.
Yeah, Kelly is the old
I'm gonna do that.
command app.
I'll probably start using
Yeah.
it. Because
Oh, went really far. All right, okay, so another feature of the KW technology is a partnership with Dotloop and DocuSign to integrate their document management platforms in Command. They offer a secure digital workspace where you can store documents and get forms signed by clients. At the moment, we're using Dotloop. We will shift to DocuSign eventually. Let's look.
I'll open this and I'll call this, so.
But here are our market center numbers. So this is these are our numbers, the month over month numbers are for December. Of course, the year over year, our end of year for 22. December was not an amazing month, as you can see. Not an amazing month for very many people. The closed units in December were down 14%, but year to date, we're up 6.5%. Compared to MLS being down 12% for the year, we did pretty good. Closed volume, of course, that's gonna drop with that. But we're up again for the year. Listings taken though, we took 25% more listings in December than we did the year before, which is incredible stat. For the year, 19% up. Listings taken volume, which of course is the dollar value to the number of listings, up only 5%. For the year, we were up near 30% listings taken volume. Of course, house prices have been increasing, so that, that directly affects that. I believe this year, the house prices will probably start to drop a little bit. Your dollars per square foot will probably start dropping as the year goes. Listings sold, we're down 14% in December, but up 7.5% for the year. Correlates to listing sold volume. That's an odd number right there, considering that the house prices are up. Contracts written. We wrote 44% more contracts this December than last December. That's a very big number considering we're only up 2%. So that says that January and February are going to be pretty decent. Contract written volume up 20%. We're up 7% for the year. Closed GCI, which of course is your gross commission income. December was down 27%, which correlates to that, but we're up 12% for the year. One of my favorite stats nationally for Keller Williams is that one out of every 8.5 agents in the country is a Keller Williams agent. The average real estate agent makes $43,000 a year in GCI, including that's every real estate agent in the country. Every Keller Williams real estate agent averages $77,000 in GCI. So if you pull Keller Williams agents out of the big pool, it drops the every other company's average to 37,000. I think that's a very huge, very important number. I haven't stopped yet. Our market center value. Here's our, of course, we've already gone over our mission and vision. Mission and our belief. Vision, right there to your left, to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. Our values, my favorite part, God, family, business. Of course, Red Day this year is going to be on May 11th. Culture Committee will decide that and work on ideas for Red Day. And our next ALC meeting will be week from Wednesday. We'll probably start ideas for what we're going to do for Red Day this year. Right, Lynn? Aren't you on the Culture Committee?
We decided on the bus ride.
Yeah, what do we decide?
Kentucky Sheriff's Ranch.
Going to the Sheriff's Ranch again?
We did like a big boat and everyone liked more so when we got our hands dirty and really got out there and did work and it benefited the kids out of every county. So,
Mhm.
and that's what we're going to do again this year. So
Can't tell you how many women we wrote that.
we set them on fire.
There's too many bosses in the room to do what we did last year again.
Oh, the starfish
The,
backpacks.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's too many bosses.
We
Probably.
have some very strongly opinionated leaders here.
Yes. But yeah, the Sheriff's Ranch it was a really good thing. Very rewarding.
We
Very
almost got the
tiring.
whole field on fire. It was great.
We got to knock down buildings.
That sounds fun.
We had a,
Wasn't it Barry who drove like something around? What did he do? He like knocked down an entire shed with a Jeep or something?
well, we did it. We had took a lane, we didn't take a lean-to down. Yeah, it was, we didn't even Jeep though. We just pulled it down. And Shay down there was in her, with her 108 pounds was down there tearing it down. We had a 16-foot trailer filled with bags of leaves. Probably 6 to 8 times. And we set them all on fire. It's great.
So fun.
So good, that'll be exciting if we do that again this year. So I like doing that. Our leadership team, our OP, that's operating principal, AKA the owner of the company, Linda Cecil, team leader. That's not it, that's me.
See, we're moving on.
Yeah, market center administrator is Amy Adams. She's kind of your check writer. She's over agent services. And our market center tech trainer is Allie Harper. Probably until April when she has her baby, and we will have probably 2 or 3 people filling in for her. ALC members, Arlene Woods is our culture chair, Barry Pritchard is our growth chair, Dora Shepherd's our safety chair, Amy Brock is the education chair, and Allie Harper is the tech chair. ALC, for those of you who don't know, is our agent leadership council, or associate leadership council. It's a group of agents that are in the top 20% that they're essentially like a voice for the agents to help make decisions for the market center. If that makes sense. What they are. So, and they would meet once a month. Like this February 8th will be the next one in Paducah. And then March, I can't remember the date for the next one, second Wednesday in March. We'll be down here. Everybody's always invited to come to the ALC meeting, you just can't participate in the ALC meeting, you can always listen. Did I hear that?
Got it.
Okay. Oh, we got somebody else on here. How's it going?
Hi. I wasn't quite sure if I was on it yet or not. Driving. Or I'm not driving, I'm passenger.
You're passengering? Okay, that's good. Don't be driving.
Okay, not driving.
Just take your hands off the wheel, then you're not driving.
There you go.
What? Well, I tell Evan I'm not driving and texting. So another KW's profit value is profit share and growth share. You heard about profit share when you joined and chose sponsor. When you chose that sponsor, you automatically became a part of that profit share system and made your sponsor eligible to share in their market center's profit. So what exactly is profit share? It's completely, entirely, wholly, and absolutely passive income. Passive income is money that you receive without doing anything actively to earn it. Pretty cool. The Keller Williams designed a system for you to share in the profits of the company like an owner would, without any personal risk or investing any capital. Which means there's no financial risk, no legal risk, no down payment, and no phone call. So who benefits from it is you, your family, and your heirs. But yes, you can pass this down. You remember when you filled out the profit share, put a beneficiary on there also. So your market center and the people you influence to join Keller Williams by helping the market center grow and by helping other real estate agents benefit from all the value that KW provides. Keller Williams Associates and leadership as a whole. There's also growth share, which is something that's outside the United States and Canada. Are there any questions about profit share? Do y'all have a understanding about it or feel like you have a pretty good understanding?
So with profit share, like if I had someone in my downline, whenever they make a sale, does that come out of the KW like royalties or?
No, so best way I describe it is like at the end of the month, when Amy does the books, let's say for math's sake, after we do all the expenditures, there's $10,000 profit at the end of the month. $4,800 of that $10,000 goes to profit share. That's sent to KWRI. They do all the calculations of who gets how much profit share. And then on the 21st of the following month, it's deposited in your account. So it's literally 48% of the profits of the company go back to the agents for profit share. So you can easily hear that if the company didn't profit that month, you're not gonna get profit share. Which has not happened yet. It's landed on the company. We tried really hard.
Ben, is the profit share only for those of us that bring on someone with us?
Yes, you have to have somebody in your downline to receive profit share, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And that can go down 7 levels. So like Molly, you chose Cardiff, right? Is that right? So if you bring on somebody, then they're in Cardiff's downline also. And it can go down 7 levels.
So when you're newly licensed, are you immediately eligible to be a
Yep.
sponsor?
Yep.
Okay.
Immediately, actually, before you get your license, you can.
Oh, okay.
Because when you fill out the profit share form, there's a part where they say, like if you're about to get your license or about to become an employee of Keller Williams, you can put down a temporary sponsor until this person joins.
I see.
So that person has 90 days to join from that point, where the temporary sponsor becomes a permanent sponsor.
Okay.
That makes sense? Any other questions about profit share? Nope. Perfectly explained. We're going to explore some of the resources that Keller Williams has to offer next. We talked a little bit about them before. The KWX companies are Keller Williams Worldwide, Keller Mortgage, Keller Managed, Keller Covered, Keller Offers.
Not all of those are available.
Keller Covered is insurance, right?
Yes, Keller Covered is insurance.
Is Keller managed that property management?
No, it's not available yet in Kentucky, so I'm not really sure. I've never really studied up on it.
And what is Keller offer?
Keller Offers?
Mhm.
Good question too. I don't think that's available in Kentucky.
Okay, because I've never
Kentucky's
seen
kind
it
of a-
before until now.
Yeah, Kentucky's kind of a stubborn state. It's kind of hard to,
Kind of taking our ways now.
yeah. That's very true. That is very, very true. So there's a website that I'll share with you all at kwconnect.com. Of course, if you're not in Connect, you can't look at this yet. Are you writing this down, Lana? Probably in your participants guide too. /page /industry-resource. Am I going fast enough? /referrals -RESPA. What's up, Kimberly? You're fine.
Bridget was trying to get on the Zoom.
Who was?
Bridget,
Bridget was?
Yeah.
Bridget, are you on Zoom? Yep, she's on Zoom.
okay, cool.
All right, some of the Keller Williams community that we have to offer. Keller Williams strives to meet the needs of all associates, including those who solely specialize in the niche of real estate. There are agents who choose to only help clients with commercial needs, such as office buildings. Other agents are finding great success catering to clients in sports or entertainment. So Keller Williams has all these different communities that you can join that'll help you with your niche. So like we have Brian Wyatt, who is in the KW commercial community. But he focuses on commercial real estate. He does residential, but he does focus on commercial. There's some classes you take, and once you pass the classes, you get referrals, you get, some different logos you can use. Ton of resources you can use to help you learn to be a better commercial agent. And that goes the same with land, like Reese Johnson is a KW land agent. KW Luxury, we've probably got about 7 or 8 agents that are under KW Luxury. Qualify for that, you have to sell 4 homes in a 24 rolling months of 500,000 or more. And you can qualify to be part of KW Luxury. KW Military, anybody that's been in or part of the military can automatically be a part of KW Military.
I need water.
That's okay, you're fine. KW New Homes kind of speaks for itself, it teaches you and gives you the resources to help sell, new homes, new construction. Sports and entertainment is an interesting one that I wish we had in our area. Of course, like for example, if you're in Nashville, the Titans get somebody new. They usually don't just call somebody random to, help them find a house. A lot of times they'll call Keller Williams Corporate or their agent will, and they'll put them with a sports and entertainment specific agent. So they understand, some of the things that agent or that athlete may not want some information out. They may not want people to know certain things. So KW Sports Entertainment will get that athlete to go help them find that $5 million house that they want to buy. KW Young Professionals. We do have a group of KW Young Professionals already. If you want to be involved, Elena, Patsy, and Paducah are the ones working on me and having the KW Young Professionals meet.
So what is that exactly?
So with the KW professionals, we're all really new to the business. So what we like to focus on is, getting to know our local vendors and learning and sharing experiences and things that we've learned so that we can kind of grow together. And I think learning more together, because when people come together, we learn more. So we have one vendor come in, we do it bi-weekly meetings. So for Murray, it's here on Mondays, and we do it around lunchtime. So we'll have a vendor come in. Today is gonna be Brandon Driver. And just to be able to get to know our local vendors and be able to ask them questions in a place where, everyone feels comfortable because we're all new. So that way we all feel comfortable to be like, hey, this may be a stupid question, but then you feel more comfortable asking. And just building that relationship and getting to meet them so that way you feel comfortable taking the phone and being like, hey, I got a question. So that's kind of really what we're focusing on right now. We're gonna try to do a class on goal setting. So we're still trying to get that together, but just trying to get that so we can build an action plan and kind of be like an accountability group to kind of hold each other accountable to where our goals are.
So your classes will be the same on, like, will you have if it's in Murray and Paducah, will they be different speakers or?
Yes, so for Murray, our first week we had Rachel Benson with First Trust Home Loans. She came in here and she taught about what her new office offers. And then in Paducah, we had Ben Clayton with Paducah Bank. And then this week for Murray, today we have Brandon Driver with First Class Home Inspections. And then Thursday, we're trying to get a social media marketing strategist to come in. And so we're still working on that and trying to get that together, but that's still up in the air right now.
And Jason, our Kentucky Young
Yes.
Professionals VP will be there too. Just by happenstance, he's got people in there.
I can't be there. So.
I think our focus initially, Josh, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't. With the sports and entertainment thing,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that could be done
Yeah.
around here? So for example, our associate pastor at church moved from church down to here, and he got on Zillow and just found the agent on Zillow. And like for me, looking at that, it would be awesome for me as a pastor to build relationships with, other pastors coming in, moving from another area. I don't know if that's something like that.
That's a really good idea. That's a good thought, because that happens a lot.
Yeah, because I mean,
Pastors move a lot.
the pastor and associate pastor at Westside, they've become some of my really good friends, and they both just kind of came here out of the blue and they both found realtors on Zillow.
Yeah.
And that would be,
That'd be-
me personally, to build relationships with other pastors and stuff around here and kind of help them adapt. And because usually they're moving here and they don't know anybody. Of course, they're going to know people in the church, but kind of helps when they first get down here, they already have relationships beginning to be built outside of the church.
It almost be like a KW clergy
I mean,
community. I mean, you can almost build a whole community around that.
yeah,
I think because pastors move, they change churches and
yeah,
move
because I know
often.
Barry's from Mayfield,
Mhm.
right? Well, that could be something like, okay, somebody's moving into Mayfield, Barry can do that. If somebody's moving into Murray, you know, I can handle that, so stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're all about team here. so
That's
it'd be
right.
cool.
Wheels turning. Yeah, we could definitely work on something like that.
Kind of like a relocation committee, kind of.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Which,
That is,
yeah, Keller Williams does have a relocation community also. That's more like a referral network. I think Josh, maybe what your idea was to keep it local. And let it be known that if clergy is moving, that you need to reach out to Keller Williams and we'll find you a member of the clergy to help you find a place.
Yeah,
But yes, exactly, it is like a relocation. There's a lot of churches around here particularly don't have parsonage.
because there's not too many bigger churches like First Baptist, Westside, Harvey.
Mhm.
We have a bunch of smaller churches just here and there.
Yeah, that makes total sense. That's a very good idea. Right, this is fun. Now it says we're coming to the fun part. Now we're gonna all go outside and run around the building 3 times. No? Bad idea.
It's 27.
Yeah, but it feels like it's 22. After being introduced to all that Keller Williams has to offer, it's time for you to focus on your goals, your dreams, and your vision. So what drew you being real estate? It sounded fun.
Well, I never pictured it as a career,
Mhm.
because when you think careers, you always think, okay, there's two sides. There's either fast food or there's like doctor, lawyer type jobs. So then Carrie talked to me about real estate, and I was like, oh, I forgot that was even an option. So she told me about her job, and then I came and chatted with her and Christy on the busiest day of their careers. And we literally didn't even have time to stop for anything. And I was like, this is it. So
Well, that's good.
busy and fun.
Anybody else? What drew you to real estate?
Making money without having a boss telling me what to do and when to do it and what to, you know.
Very true. You are now
And
your
it
own
seemed
boss.
fun.
Yeah, you are now the owners of your own business. You're the CEO. Molly Conger.
Yeah.
That's what you are. You are the CEO of your own company right now. Mhm. Absolutely. Anybody else? What drew you to real estate?
He raises eyebrows like that.
Yeah, I can. I mean, you have to react to it, right? So what excites you about real estate?
Helping people achieve. Plus you get to meet a lot of really cool.
You do. A lot of different people. Anybody else? What excites you about this? You Zoomers can talk too now. You'll have to unmute to talk, but you can talk.
I would say it's a challenge.
The challenge of it.
It's something very different from what I usually do. So, something that might seem easy to salespeople. To me, this is very out of my domain and comfort. So,
Yeah. You'll learn a phrase that you have to learn, be comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay, anybody else with somebody on Zoom about to talk?
yeah, I'll go. This is Tara. In my past jobs, I've been bored, and I hate to say that, but in my downtime boredom, I would look at houses online to pass the time. And I just thought, you know, why not make a career out of it? So, and I absolutely love it.
So what do you intend to achieve for yourself and your family with real estate? No. Nobody wants to achieve it.
Want to make more money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Take my patients
There you go. Mhm.
and just have a more comfortable life, be able to, you know, provide for them later and not be living paycheck to paycheck and, you know,
Absolutely. I think one big thing people like about it is having control of all that.
yeah.
You're now in control of that, not somebody saying, be at work at 9,
Right.
go to lunch at 12, get off at 5. It's snowing outside. Can I stay home? No, you have to come to work. You
Yeah,
know, you're more in control.
really, there's no limit, you know, and most jobs and careers, it's like you kind of hit a ceiling and it's like, there I am, like,
Yeah.
you know? Still in retire.
You can do that here. I mean, there's a lot of agents that, think that they're highly successful because they're doing, this amount of volume or this amount of volume. And it's okay. But what you learn, and I learned myself, I went to E-Town to teach a class on like a couple Thursdays ago. And there's an agent there, a young agent, probably mid-30s, single mom, 2 kids, recently divorced. And she took her business from, she was a $4 or $5 million a year agent. She 2 years later is a $27 million agent. But still has the same amount of time for her family and her kid.
Mhm.
So a lot of people have a limiting belief that to sell 20 million, that means they have to work, 20 hours a day. And that's not true. Because when you learn to leverage, when you learn what is successful for you and how to grow your business your way, then things start to flow with you a lot better. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So it is highly possible. All right, so I like this one a little bit. Let's imagine you're 1 year from today. Does everybody have their participants guide?
Yes.
Okay, write in the date in your participants guide 1 year from today.
I just think it's a lot of rad.
Okay. Just $5. Just leave it there with Molly. Molly collecting the $5. Harry, this is Molly Conger, by the way, right behind you when you turn around.
Okay. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Molly's waiting on her license with Josh, and this is Haley Hamby. And this is Elaine.
Yeah, that's what's.
That's Elaine.
Are you working on Murray out of all? Okay, all right. We probably won't see each other often.
All right, so this is what happened over the last 12 months as you look back and reflect. Your business is thriving and your life is everything you dreamed of. Your customers rave about the experience and value you provide. Your family and friends are so proud of your success and they're consistently referring business your way. All sounds good, then. You okay? A lot of popping going on. I do too. You're helping others live their dream of owning a home because you are focused on helping them get what they desire. You're building the foundation and momentum for your entire career, and gaining relationships and experiences, and the income that you desire. Again, remember that's different for everybody. You are the top agent in your market center or rookie of the year. It'd be fun to be rookie of the year, wouldn't it? You're poised to hire a part-time assistant to handle your 80% while you take care of your 20%. Maybe that's what Rebecca just did. You just hired a part-time assistant to take care of the 80% while you take care of the 20%.
I'm the 80%.
You're the 80%er?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Rebecca missed the 80-20 principle earlier, right? The 20% of your work takes care of 80% of your business. Good, yeah. You are on the path to do what? That's for you to fill in. See? In 1 year, you'll be on the path to. So thinking about this and reading it, how does that make you feel? If any of these came true, how would that make you feel in 1 year from today?
Proud.
If you got to pick one of them, which one would it be? And again, you on Zoom can speak anytime you want to.
I'm going the first one.
First one,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a very good one. Anybody have a different one if we got to pick one?
I like the, you are building the foundational momentum of your entire career and gaining relationships and experience and the income you desire.
Mhm. The next question it tells me to ask is one that I think is kind of a silly question to ask because everybody's going to raise their hand or would say me. But it's one I think you should hear because it says, who intends to achieve the future they've envisioned? Is there anybody here that does not intend that? So we just need to revert back to the very first quote that we had, right? We remember the first quote that ended in will you.
Oh, I asked that. I read that.
Yeah,
Anyone can do it.
something along, yeah,
Or
something along.
not
those
everyone will you?
lines. Will you do it? So let's expand our thinking beyond 1 year.
That is a lot for a cat.
What's that?
So that is a lot for a cat.
Yeah. It's a lot for donating $5,000 to a cat habitat. No, I don't like cats either. I have one too. I don't like. I barely like my cat. So what charities would you support? How would you make the lives of yourself and everyone around you better? For this next activity, we're going to take a few minutes to complete this chart in your participants guide. In the boxes around the middle, fill in the people and projects you care most about. Add more boxes if you need to. Add an amount that you would like to spend on each. You know, for example, if you want to pay for both your children's college tuition, or pay off your home or your car, or donate money to the soccer field. Add up all the numbers along with what you need for your own lifestyle, debt, and investments, and write that amount in the middle box. Don't limit yourself. Avoid thinking I'll never be able to afford $120,000 in tuition. Just put in there what you desire to spend. Ignite is about working on the skills and habits that will get you to what you want. Go ahead, spend a couple of minutes. See how much money you think you need, and then how much money you want, which are two different conversations.
Well, I didn't print mine out. I didn't know I was supposed to print out 355 pages.
I only did good ones for today so far.
But you can make the notes on there, and you see the premise.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, you see the premise.
Later.
So is this supposed to be for year one? I mean, or?
No, we're not, this is just in general.
Okay.
Yeah. Think about your bills,
Mhm.
think about what you want to pay off. Think about what donations you want to make within a year. Y'all heading out?
Doctor stuff.
Doctor
I need
stuff?
my bodyguard.
Okay.
No.
Y'all take care, guys. We'll see you.
Are you gonna be back for the meeting at 1? Okay,
Young professionals at 1 o'clock today.
It's Monday.
you guys said you wanted to do it Monday.
Yeah, we'll be, maybe. Maybe.
Okay.
We have some doctor's appointment stuff going on, so. Are we being fed?
I didn't ask me to bring anything, because honestly, I'm just gonna order from Moody's because it'll be 1 o'clock before we get there.
Are they opening?
Yes. And their floors are level. It's really cool. You walk in there, it's flat and solid.
They were looking rough.
They were.
So the middle is like
Yes.
what you want to take out.
The middle would be the total of all the boxes.
Boxes first.
Yeah, in the middle will be your total of all your boxes around the outside.
And so I need to put like my monthly, like bills and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
too.
and you don't have to get exact with it, get, in general. Decided making Haley wink over here.
It is because I got 2 boxes filled and I don't know what the heck I've done. I don't know. But I don't have no kids to go through school.
No, it's fine. You may have 2 vacations you want to take. How much are those vacations gonna cost?
True.
You may have new furniture you want to buy, what they're gonna cost.
You call.
May need a new car. What this is really, it's your foundation of your planning for what you really need to do as an agent to make the money that you need and then make the money that you want to make. Does that make sense? You gotta know how much money that is first, right? That's step one. We're not asking for exact figures. It's important also to establish a mindset of caring and gratitude along with your goals at the beginning of this journey. Because at the end of the day, as a real estate agent, you're still a servant. And if you remember that you're a servant, always, it'll help you every day. I'm not gonna ask anybody to read out their numbers. Are you getting any ahas from this at all, thinking about this? Molly's over there going, "Hey, I need 2 real estate jobs."
Oh, man. A lot of money.
Well, spouses cover some of that money for you also. No, not yet. So is this giving you any ahas? How about you zoomies on there? Is thinking about this way giving you any ahas?
It is, and I came up with a smaller number than I thought.
There you go.
So anything better than that's just, well,
Saving. How much money do you want to save this year?
I didn't either.
They're just giving you things to think about,
Yeah.
not just what you want to spend, you gotta save. Dave Ramsey says we should have 6 months of reserves in our savings account. Yeah.
I have a couple months in my office.
Yeah. Anybody have any ahas from that on the Zoom? Terry, Tracy, Farah, Bridget?
I did. Mine's less monetarily than I thought as well. So maybe that's good.
Yeah, that's what Haley said too. Haley, I don't even need to work. Well, that's good. Was anybody's more than they thought when they went through and?
I'm about what I thought it would be.
Is about what you thought, you're pretty on par.
If I was, haven't been really.
All right, whose turn is it to read? Tracy. You want to read this quote?
I can. To achieve success, you need motivation and inspiration from doing it. You big why. Oh, Gary Keller.
Yeah, that's very true. Very simple, but true. As you go through Ignite, you'll look for ways limiting your own, as you go through Ignite, look for ways you're limiting your own success and remove the barriers you're putting in your way. Be especially aware of those limiting beliefs that can creep in if you're not careful. Limiting beliefs are scary and they're bad. Scary and they're bad. But what is it that stirs your soul, that makes you think beyond your business? What really drives you? Is it money, freedom, providing for your family? Maybe write a couple of things down that really motivate you, that drive you to succeed in your guide. The part of it in this is leading to what they would call your big why. So what some of y'all put down?
Money.
Money?
I put providing for my family too, but that kind of goes hand in hand for me.
Yeah. Anybody else have something other than money?
I put to have no limits / endless opportunity. Because for me, it's kind of looking to the future. And I would rather, my big why would be to have no limits.
That's right. Yes, he's forgot more about real estate than everybody else in this office knows. So what about you, Zoomies? What did you put on there? What is a why for you all?
I put financial freedom so I can spend more time with my family.
There you go. Tracy, what were you gonna say?
My big why,
Yes,
I think mine's a lot of just freedom. Freedoms that I can do with my kids, freedom that I can actually enjoy vacations and just freedom all together.
yeah. I mean, you think about it, Tracy, if you had a 9 to 5, you wouldn't be able to pick up your kids from school like you like to do every day, right? She has the freedom to do that and has a very successful career and does a great job balancing. Bridget, you put anything down? You're on mute, Bridget. We can't hear you. Oh, still muted. Still muted. All right, we'll come back to you later. It's still muted. It's okay. What do you actually? Oh, there you are. Go ahead.
I got it. I don't feel too unique. I put financial freedom because, I mean, having the opportunity, like I just did, to run back and forth, visit family, just to kind of choose my own hours. Exactly. That's what interested me.
Yeah, that what you just said there is huge. The time. People like their own time and control of their time. I think a lot of people, when they hear real estate agent, it means it's flexible. You can work when you want to. It's very true. It doesn't mean that you can work 2 hours a day and make $200,000 a year. Does that make sense? You just have to find what works for you. And be like Melinda Watson, who sometimes does her paperwork till 2 o'clock in the morning. You have to work. And sometimes you have to work when your clients want you to work. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So in the last activity, we estimated how much money you'd like to earn to pay for things that are most important to you. So I'll talk about how commissions work. Many new agents get the check for their first closing, pocket it all. It is an exciting amount of money. The checks are pretty big. And then get on the line. Let's talk about where the money goes and how much will actually be going toward your goal. These numbers are very general, meaning, they're not going to be exact for everybody. But there is a model in Keller Williams for how much money each dollar should go to. Excuse me. Let's talk about where that goes. Actual amounts will vary. So where do your commission dollars go? To the other agent? To the market center? To your business expenses? Your taxes? And your take home? We've already chopped it up quite a bit. Can you see that? Is that scary? You have to remember that. So it says here, that typically, and this is a little old school, when you have a team, a buyer's agent, listing agent, they're split differently too, because they're split with the, what they call the rainmaker of the team owner. When you see teams with agents under them, the rainmaker gets a split also, so it's split up a little bit differently. You see how the way those dollars pretty fast. And this is what's gonna make you mad when people start saying, do you wanna cut commissions? You know, so when you know that you got some goes to the market center. After you do pay the market center, roughly a third goes back into the business to cover marketing, operating expenses, signs, car, phone, anything that is needed to conduct your business and grow. Does that make sense? Can't forget taxes. Right? It's kind of smart to think about this, right? You'd have a tax account. Every closing you have, 30% tax account. Talk to your CPA to make sure how close that number is. Have an account to pay your taxes at the end of the year. This making sense to everybody? Well, that's good. Here's your take home. Doesn't look too big, does it? After you pay for everything, they're saying this is your profit. Which when you really get down into it, your profit looks, the model is the 30% expenses, 30% cost of sale, 40% profit. Does that make sense when I say that? Of every commission check, we're at the end of the year, 30% of the money you've earned goes to expenses, 30% goes to cost of sale, which is the money you have to spend to have that closing, which is really just company dollar usually. So that number actually dwindles because our company dollar is capped. So early it might be bigger, but as you get more closings, that percentage will drop. So your profit will increase. Does that make sense? I will say our agents do a great job of controlling expenses. I don't know many of our agents that have a 30% expense margin. That's going to be different for all of you. But as you grow bigger, those numbers will grow bigger. Does that make sense? As a new solo agent, your profit is going to be a lot higher than it will be as you grow and get bigger in business. And it does cost a little bit more money to make a little bit more money. That makes that scary to anybody? That's scary.
I mean, yeah.
And I think it's a lot of people, we don't realize it. You know, if you get a $3,000 commission check at the closing table, for your cap, you know, 900 of that's coming to Keller Williams. Then you got to think, well, what did it cost me to get this closing? How much did it cost me in gas? How many times did I have to buy lunch from our client? You know, then 30%'s got to go to taxes. We got to think about that when you're out there budgeting and planning. It's not the $3,000 commission check goes into my bank. And also you got to remember that once you get something under contract, unless it's a cash deal and a unicorn, it's 45 to 60 days before it's going to close. And you get paid as closing table. So we have to remember things like that. Does that make sense? So just a little eye opening a little bit. So this is like an example income goal. I did change the company dollar to hours and royalty. So if your net income goal is $100,000, according to this model, they think you should earn 170 in GCI. That way it covers your expenses. But of course, their average commission here is $9,000, which is how big of a house is that? Like $300,000. So if your average closing is $300,000, it's saying you need to make 20 closings. You do the actual math. Our average commission for our average commission for this office is $6,000. So your transaction would probably be 25 to 30 to reach that goal. But I don't know anybody in here who would have this much in expenses, 50,000 in expenses for 25 closings. That's a lot. So their budget's a little bit higher on that. But it is something to think about. You want to think about how you're budgeting your money and where it's going and who's getting it. Who's getting it. Most important, but. So this is something that we can go over in a completely different class. This is kind of called what we call the economic model. Where I can really break it down to this and then show you how many transactions you need to make. And we can even break it down to see how many contacts you need to make to reach that transaction goal. And if you want to see that, just let me know and we'll go over that because that's a few minutes individually. But you need to know how much you need to make, which you kind of just did on your exercise. This mouse is super sensitive. I'm sorry, guys. You want to estimate your business expenses and your average commission. Then we can go over it. We kind of want to make some money, right? A little bit important. And knowing where it's going is huge. But do we have any ahas from that? No? No, the money's chopped
I
up.
think I missed it, Ben. You said something about $500 to Keller Williams. I missed something.
No, I said on the $3,000 commission, until you cap, you have $900 of that will go to Keller Williams. And then you probably need to put about $100 of that in taxes.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So every day at Ignite, see, this is where it says 2 hours will be spent in a learning session like this. And 2 hours will be spent working in your business, but we're not doing that. This is something that's kind of homework. You have what we call a daily success system. So your goal each day is to have 10 conversations, 10 contacts added to your database, 10 handwritten notes, what is it, thank you notes, whatever it is.
You always look directly at me. I hate that.
10 5-1 social media engagement. Now I've got to remember what the 10 5-1 is. Thank you, explain it here in place.
10 likes, 5 comments, 1 post.
Thank you. I think that is correct. 10 likes, 5 comments, 1 post. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
This is a daily goal, and every morning we will ask how we did towards the successes.
That's not in the page in here.
Is it not in there?
I'm gonna text you.
I mean, where the heck am I supposed to find 10 contacts today to enter into the thing?
Oh, you want to challenge me for that for you? Done.
No,
Done.
I'm truly asking.
Done. I'll show you how to find it. Done. I'll get you 10 contacts today. 1, find 10 new friends on Facebook, if you didn't know that live in your area. There's one way. 2, old school. Still phone books out there, right? 3, pick up Robbie's phone, find 10 people you don't know who live in the area.
But it's in my session.
4,
Oh.
ask me, I've got 2,000. That's, see, and you know what you're doing there is, and I understand it too, it's kind of a limiting belief, but it's based a little bit on fear. 'Cause we all have that fear of wanting to reach out to new people.
Now, do I have to have all their email and phone number too?
No. You want to reach out to them, however you reach out to them, if you email them, put their name in their email. Right, and then now I've got a reason to call them later, I can send them an email, hey, I'm updating my database, do you mind if I get your phone number? I promise I'm not gonna spam you, I just like to have it update my database. Then later on, hey, do you mind if I get your address when I send out some, information? Just say you build your database.
Better yet, around Christmas, just be like, hey, I'm sending out Christmas cards. Just
And handwritten notes are really neat, because people don't expect them anymore. When you send thank you cards, yeah, seriously, or emails or text messages, you take the time to send a handwritten note, that it's something that people will remember. They will remember it.
Heck, am I supposed to say to them?
Whatever you want. The thank you note. Anything. I can give you that list too. I got a whole list of things to say to people. I do. A whole list of people to say them too. The first job of the real estate agent is what? Lead generation. The activity of generating leads is the foundation of your business. In addition, practicing conversations and dialogues will prepare you for confidence and success. Success is measured in appointments, signed agreements, signed contracts, and closed transactions. You hear that? For practice in there, you hear that?
We don't have it this weekend,
No, don't have this week. But you know,
so technically I didn't.
you're right. But this is something we will talk about each morning, is our success system. Is that page not in there anywhere, Molly?
It was, it's just in, day 2.
Oh.
Or session.
Yes. Do not call list. Powerful conversations get results. It requires that we talk to people every day. You'll hear it anytime your mouth is open, your business is open. Because truthfully, everybody is a client or a potential client. And they asked a great question. I think Jason Abrams did when we were up there for the shift into Overthrive. So what's the definition of a seller?
Anyone who lives in a house.
Anybody that lives in a house is a seller. So anytime your mouth is open, your business is open. You know, uncover motivations for people why they're gonna leave or move or not move. You want to identify objections. Learn scripts to get over those objections. You know, close deals. Speak in terms the customer understands. And build confidence in yourself. It's the best way to build confidence. What's the best way to build confidence?
Practice, practice, practice.
Practice. Practice and experience. You will build confidence. The most confident people you meet are terrified to do something new. I should get a shot. You should have seen me getting my COVID shot, get on a boat. I knew I wasn't gonna be beat. I would have never gotten that shot. I had to go on a cruise and my wife was making me go on a cruise. Or I would be miserable and single today.
It's very true.
Purpose and benefit of conversation. If you find everything you were looking for, go ahead, look around, and please let me know if I can help you. I see you admiring that big screen TV. Are you looking to get one for the big game this weekend? No, that's what you'd say.
No.
You're like, what
That
big
sounds
game?
so
Huh?
creepy though. I don't like that.
So who's ever heard those phrases before? Hmm.
First two.
What other examples have you heard? You know, especially examples in the real estate industry. These are like icebreaker conversations, right? Just get a conversation going. How many people in here can make a friend in line at Walmart? How many people get punched by their wife every time they get in line at Walmart?
Don't talk about that.
Yeah. A lot of times these are like icebreakers. You know, I use an example of when I was getting my tires changed in my car. I was sitting down and the guy next to me saw my shirt and was like, "Oh, are you in real estate?" I said, "Well, yeah, somewhat." Then we just started talking about the market. And then he said, "Well, my son needs to sell his house." Where do you live? Mayfield.
There you go.
I got somebody to help you do that. You got a realtor? No, he's trying to do it himself. I
That's
said,
cool.
"Well, not very smart, is it?" He said, "Nope." And then a person overheard the conversation. I just gonna buy a house myself. Said, "You want his house?" No, I need a different. But it's real easy. It doesn't take much to break the ice and start a conversation.
Right.
We feel weird about it because we feel like we're doing it with intention of business.
Mhm.
But if you do it just because you're trying to make a new friend or you're trying to be polite, it's not that big a deal. It's just somewhere in the conversation.
I think it's cool though, because anytime they find out that you're a realtor, or they see the badge, or they just, you know, they come to the conversation, they're like, "Oh, you're a realtor. Let me ask you this," or "What about this? What do you think about the housing market? What do you think about interest rates? What do you think about this and that?" So they're all very curious when they find out. That's just not something that would come about unless that conversation comes about. But once they find out, they always have questions.
Mhm.
And then you pray that you know the answer to them.
Which you probably do. You probably do. Oh, just remember, you know more about real estate. You know more about real estate than anybody out there buying and selling a house right now.
The main question you have to have an answer to is, so how's the housing market these days? That's the main one they'll ask
Yeah.
every time.
And it's always it's always a good time to buy. The
Never been a better time.
one t-shirt I bought at Mega Camp, it says, don't ever wait to buy real estate, buy real estate and wait. I like that one. Sphere definition, you know, you're gonna hear sphere of influence a lot. SOI, you're gonna hear that a lot. Your sphere, the people you know, people you met, one way, shape, or form. Those are the people you should contact first in real estate. Your sphere of influence. Everybody moves from on average of 7 to 10 years. That's why there is no such thing as a bad lead. On average, everybody moves from 7 to 10 years. What events do you think trigger a move? Marriage,
Baby.
divorce, baby,
Retirement.
retirement,
New job.
new job. All triggers moves. If you get a seller, that means you get a buyer too, right? Huge, huge. So this graph depicts when people are most likely to move, which NAR has found is the average, like I said, 7 to 10 years. The peaks are the moment that the person moves. As soon as they purchase, the likelihood of a move falls into a trough. And over time, the likelihood of a move builds back up again. Your job is to have a relationship throughout their ownership, so that you're top of mind when they're beginning to consider another move. Don't fear your sphere. Practice the Ford method. Y'all heard of this before? You have not? Reasons for conversation. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. You're going to have several conversations with another participant in class. This is the beginning of practicing conversations which you will engage in every day of your real estate career. We won't do it in this class. Hello, you getting water? It's $5. Molly's collecting. Joanne, that's Molly, by the way. And this is Haley, if you hadn't met Haley.
Okay. Excuse me, please take the chin.
You want to know, Joanne sold $14 million in real estate last year. By herself. She knows the thing to do. If you can keep up with her,
She's great.
her and Amy are just about the same. They're both, and Amy did 12 million. But they both know what they're doing.
And they took 4 vacations last year, so.
Yeah, before we get to $12 million. So, you know, the family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. How's your family doing? Or you got a new baby? Are you still working at so-and-so? Did you ever get that boat you talked about? Are you still thinking of retiring to the mountains one day? Reason to start a conversation in your sphere that you. Yeah, I do think I'm gonna retire to the mountains. We're good. I'd love to buy you that thing.
We don't buy them a house. But
We don't? I'd love to help you buy that house. You replace that.
Say that is one big client gift.
Yeah.
That's a no-go.
Any ahas around the sphere? Around the board, around starting conversation.
I'm talking.
That's true. But you see, it's daunting when you think about it like that, Haley. I know you said one of your fears.
No, but like, am I supposed to tell them in every conversation I'm a realtor? They're supposed to know that.
Not every conversation, no. But one model is to reach out to your sphere at least once a month with intention. I mean, some people you talk to every day in your sphere, right? Some people you don't. But the model tells you to reach out to your sphere once a month. with the intention of letting them know or reminding them in some form of fashion you're in real estate.
Ask them how their job is going.
Mhm.
Automatically, they're gonna say, mine's going great, how about yours?
Yeah.
Then you can say things like, well, you know, the housing market's slowing down, but I'm staying really busy.
Mhm.
Now you let them know you're real.
Mhm. And you let them know that even though it's slowing down, you are still staying busy.
Right.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Any other ahas? None? We're at the end of session one. Yeah. And now for the next 2 hours, we're gonna role play and make phone calls. Okay, teasing. We're gonna take 10 minutes to get up and move. And then we'll jump back in and we'll have slide 2 ready to go. So is that okay, Zoomers? Got about 10 minutes?
Sounds good.
All right. We'll see you guys in about 10 minutes.
Okay, see you.
Stuff like that.
Are we ready to get going?
Sure.
Good, good. My opinion, should I cancel career night tonight, Elena? You think? They're saying freezing rain's supposed to start at 6 o'clock. Career night's supposed to start at 6 o'clock.
I thought it was supposed to start at 3.
Does it
I was
look
in-
like it's moving or does it look like it's gonna
Oh, we're
stay?
gonna get it. It's,
Okay,
it's just a matter of time.
okay. I'll probably.
That's such a hard call because.
I know, but the last thing
If
we
I,
want is
if
to
I don't
make it.
cancel it, there's gonna be like 4 inches of solid ice on the road and everybody has to drive home in it.
Right.
If I do cancel it, it's not gonna do anything, so it's bone dry.
Right.
Yeah,
What's the?
I think probably cancel it to like, because we do value everyone's safety.
What's the Wi-Fi pass?
KW in capital letters. 898
I didn't get that phone. KW 898.
42071.
Can we use the Zoom for the Young Pros meeting today?
All right, session 1, we discussed the value proposition of being part of Keller Williams. In the second session of the real estate expert of choice, embrace your job. We will cover the key priorities a real estate agent has and discuss what it takes to become a great agent. So this says on here, we have to check with the success system. Did y'all do your 10 phone calls
Yes,
after session 1?
absolutely. I did.
Okay, so by the end of this session, you should be able to apply the 6 core competencies of a business. Recognize your role as a fiduciary for clients. And review the successes. Struggling, success system, struggling. Start thinking about what you will learn today. Let's consider what questions we might have and what we'd like to learn more about. As we go through the content today, this session, see, listen to hear if your questions are answered. Go ahead.
First it's the talking and then now it's just the. Well,
What was it the last night? I was making noises every time I clicked the button or something.
yeah.
So what part of being a real estate agent excites you the most? I mean, it can be really rewarding. You know, being an agent gives you the opportunity to support someone in making one of the most important decisions of their life. You build relationships and live a big life yourself. Did y'all know that 80% of all millionaires on the planet are created by real estate? Let's talk about the daily activities of all successful real estate agents, otherwise known as the 6 core competencies of business, which come from Gary Keller and team's book called Shift. Does everybody have a Shift book?
Yes. Hi, I'm really sorry. Can you give me the Wi-Fi password?
Capital K, capital W,
Mhm.
898 42071. That's your. Incorporating the 6 core competencies in your business activities can lead to your success as an agent and business owner when implemented at a high level. So welcome to your new job, your sales career. You're an independent business person. It's important to understand the components of this job. Essentially, you're the component. You are it. There's an appropriate saying, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And right now in this job, it's never been so true. In your participants guide, you'll see the 6 core competencies of a business listed, which comes from Shift. So read through the 6 core competencies really quick. So we've reviewed the overall path of Ignite. And you can see that we will cover all of these competencies. We build on each as we grow. Running a successful business involves engagement in all 6. First one, lead generate, capture and convert to appointments. Does that make sense when you hear that? Because everybody you call and talk to may be a lead, but they may not be an appointment at the time, maybe in the future. The first competency is your first priority. After all, if you have no leads, you have no business, right? We already kind of talked about that. You must have leads to sustain a thriving business, which is what you signed up for. So let's break it down a little bit. You'll learn, and it will become repeated over and over, that your number one job is lead generation. It's a daily practice of talking to people about buying and selling real estate. Capturing is about obtaining accurate contact information, name, phone number, email address, home address, and any other data a person is willing to divulge. Capture also means adding new people to your business database. You can converse with them and provide value. Another important component of lead generating and capture is what you ask permission to stay in contact with each person. That you ask permission to stay in contact with each person. You'll learn more about the importance of this step as we explore lead generating later on in Ignite. Finally, convert it to an appointment. Capturing leads is wonderful. However, the ultimate goal is to find active buyers and sellers and set an appointment to meet and agree to work together in the buying and selling process. Remember, we're learning and building on each new skill as we advance through the entire course. This is why it's important to attend every session and to complete the course, which I know all of you will. Every minute, of every second. You'll watch it over again, right? Hours and hours. The second core competency is to present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. This core competency is about your skill during the appointment with the buyer or seller. Presenting to buyers means going through the buyer consultation document, which again, if you have one, you're ahead of probably 98% of all the realtors in Western Kentucky. Don't you agree, Elena?
Yes.
It's not picking on you just because you were texting. I know because you've
I'm
already.
trying to get this wacky thing together.
I understand. Presenting to the seller is similar. You go through the entire listing presentation document which outlines the entire selling process. Interrupt. This is Arlene, Molly,
Hi.
and this is Haley. Molly's out of Edible office, lives in Catawba. She's waiting on her license. If you know anybody at K-Rec, we can call a throat punch. Please let us know. Haley is out of Paducah office, lives in South Polk.
Nice to meet y'all.
This is Arlene. She's the smartest person in real estate. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're teaching Friday, aren't you, Arlene? Perfect. So presenting to the seller is similar. You go through the entire listing presentation document, which outlines the entire selling process, including the marketing you will provide, along with all the steps you take to assist them in the sale of their home. Again, you have a listing presentation, you're going to be a step ahead of everybody. The expected outcome of both of these presentations is that your client, whether a buyer or seller, will sign an exclusive agreement to work with you. You will learn that all you need to be able to successfully present and obtain the signed agreement later in the course. Number 3, show buyers and market sellers. The third competency is about showing buyers and marketing listings for sellers. What do these mean to you? Anything? What does it mean when you hear showing buyers and marketing listings for sellers?
Show buyers houses and you market the seller's house. Well, it's kind of like how Jason Abrams says, you set up, like when you get clients, you either have sellers or buyers. The buyers, you send them properties, the sellers, you send them CMAs.
Mhm.
What the competition is. So,
Yeah, exactly right. You will be out there showing them, and you will have a buyer that will want to look at 37 houses on Sunday, and some of them will be in Bolton and some of them will be in Madisonville. It will happen. You will have.
and they
that
will
buyer.
all be the one online.
Yes. And until you pull up into it, I don't like the way the hedges look. Yeah. That's what it was like looking at a house with me. That's why Devin did the lead. That was terrible. That was terrible. The fourth competency is writing and negotiating contracts. This is a big responsibility and one that many new agents are concerned about and anxious about completing their first contract accurately. Negotiating is another competency that requires practice, calm, and the win-win mindset. For that calm part, everybody okay with the calm part? Molly's worried about the calm. Remember, win-win is one of the KW's beliefs, win-win or no deal. Did we struggle with the calm away at some point? No.
First one, yeah.
Yeah,
First one was
it was kind of crazy, but I remember your first one. You know, we had one Missy Lee that had one so bad that I think it ended up pushing her out of real estate. Yeah, Amy Brock had to go with her to the closing. So the other agent wasn't in the room with them. They weren't in the room together. So the fifth competency is about getting the deal all the way to the closing, where the buyer gets the new keys to their home. Probably going to be one of the most exciting days of their life and yours also. It's pretty exciting. You also get paid that day. Keep in mind that not all deals make it to the closing table. for a variety of reasons. It takes skill. And this is why one of your core, this is why one of your core competencies is coordinating the sales and closing. You're gonna have to learn to negotiate, you're gonna have to learn to handle home inspections, appraisals. Sometimes not be as accepting of what you receive. Would you agree with that, Elena?
Buyers, fathers coming in inspections. It's something that a test did not prepare you for.
Yeah, test doesn't prepare you for people. People are a huge monkey wrench. in this
Oh,
business.
also, so when you guys go to your first closings and any closings afterwards, if you have the seller, you have to go pick up the keys and the lockbox and the sign before closing. Otherwise, when they're like, you can now hand over the keys, you're like, what keys? Learn from experience there. So bad.
Have the keys at the closing
Like,
table.
about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go get that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And by law, you have to have the sign down
Mhm.
and the lock, key box off
Mhm.
by closing time.
Yeah, because once it's at the closing table, once those keys pass and the contractor signed, it's no longer the seller's home. So your contract to have your sign in their yard no longer exists. Does that make sense? Am I saying that right, Arlene?
Mhm. And you can't illegally put a sign in the yard without their sign permission.
Right.
Real estate home.
That's exactly right. That's why when you have cool signs like we brought the buyer, things like that, that you want to put in the yard or take pictures with, you have to have permission by the right people to take those pictures and put the signs in the yard. Does that make sense? It sounds petty, but there's a reason for it, and it's usually legal reason. Lawsuits have it. The sixth and final competency is about managing your money,
The hardest.
the hardest part. You think it's harder than lead gen?
Heck no, not for me.
No,
no.
Haley's going, no.
And it's so weird because like I'm such an outgoing person, but when it comes to that, I'm just like,
Yeah.
No, Legion is just very draining, whereas this, I can.
Well, again, I think it goes back to your mindset. If your mindset is I'm at work, it's harder to do than if it's, hey, I'm making a new friend.
Sometimes I don't want to make.
In those days, you don't lead gen. Those days, you don't lead gen.
Pretty often.
But just remember, if you go 2 to 3 weeks without lead genning, that's probably a month to 2 months down the road, you're shortening your business. Does that make sense?
Well, it's hard, like whatever you do today, like you're gonna reap in 90 days.
That's about right. Yeah, 60 to 90 days, that's exactly right. If you stay consistent with that one thing with lead gen, whatever form you use, I'm old school lead gen, I immediately think phone calls, but there's thousands of different ways to lead gen. If you stay consistent with it, your business will not have major peaks and valleys. It'll be more, does that make sense? That's the one thing that I think you need to do consistently and daily. And that Huff Arlene just did, you'll have those a lot too.
Especially when they don't.
How's not working?
Oh, really, Carol's not showing up.
Well,
Perfect.
so you learn from day one that the paycheck you get upon closing is not to be put in your pocket and spent. There's expenses to pay and the taxes that must be saved for and paid every quarter or yearly, depending on what your CPA advises you to do. There's a great KWU course called Profitability Agent Financials. It's typically offered like at the regional level. It'll teach you and help you how to manage your money, but it's also in the MREA, which we all have an MREA, right? I give you an MREA, a red book.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what acronym you were saying there. Yes.
Being a real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
You'll hear the red book in the office a lot. Your mindset does matter. There's another essential component to this job, and it's mindset. Your mindset each and every day. We talk about mindset on day one, and you've got the KW belief system along with the 6 personals perspective to keep you strong. Who can remember any of the 6 personal perspectives? Any of them?
From today?
Yeah, the 6 personal perspectives, talk about this first class.
Oh,
Give you the first one. Self-mastery.
one was be accountable.
Be accountable was number 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
80-20.
D20 principle.
The learning.
Yeah.
based.
Be learning based. Yeah. Already got 4 of the 6. Pretty good. Arlene, you got one?
An entrepreneurial one. I think.
E to P. Yep. Entrepreneurial and purposeful. Mhm.
So we have 6, we have
6.
5.
Name 5.
Okay.
I remember the ones we named, so I know if we got them all.
We did self-mastery,
Did self-mastery,
20 principle,
20 principles.
learning based.
E to P, be accountable. Can't remember the first one. Your job to find them. It's important to keep your mindset programmed to success and continue to believe in yourself.
Remove your limiting beliefs.
There you go.
Probably one of the most important ones.
There may be days when you feel less accomplished, and you'll need to pull yourself up and keep going. Maintain a mindset focused on being of service. Adopting a mindset and a philosophy of contributing to the lives of other people allows you to be direct and to the point in your interactions with others. With focus on your contribution and being of service, you'll communicate more effectively with customers and win their hearts and minds effortlessly.
Oh, the struggle was today. aren't we?
Wow. Like I read Dr. Seuss all night. I'm still in the football games from yesterday. I'm all confused. So does that make sense? At the end of the core of it is your mindset, and you'll hear a lot of the word, you'll hear the word motivate, but I like to change that to discipline. Because you motivate yourself to create a habit, which creates discipline. Does that make sense? Does it? But it's, and I heard a friend of mine actually that posts every day about getting up, works out in the gym, in the garage. And she made a post that said people had asked me, how do you motivate yourself to do it every day? You know, it's not motivation, it's discipline.
Oh.
Because, you know, some days I'm just totally not motivated to do it. But I just do it. And that makes sense to me. I go back to when I used to be in shape. If I was, because I would do some kind of physical activity every day, whether it be play basketball for a couple hours or to go run. I was never a big workout fiend. But if I did not do something, I felt awful. If I had that day that I just wasn't motivated to go to the gym or do what I needed to do, I sat around the house, I just felt awful. It was discipline, and my body got disciplined. Then you get that habit. When it becomes a habit, it becomes easy. The mindset does matter. Let's turn this to read.
To achieve your highest potential, these 6 core competencies must be done consistently and done well.
I like how you enunciated it too. I would have totally hammered that one the way I'm talking today.
I had to go slow.
Feel like I'm gonna take away from a stroke. Yes, this is also in the book Shift. It's about the importance of the 6 core competencies in reaching your highest potential. So any ahas from the 6 core competencies?
I like the mindset of be of service. You know, you're just trying to help, you're not trying to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Once your clients get the thought that you're money chasing,
Right.
you will lose clients in a heartbeat.
Mm.
And that will be true throughout your business and career. And there will be days that that's what drives you, you know, because you gotta find what's gonna get you up and go to those 64 showings in 12 different counties to look at a 3-bedroom and a 12-bedroom house. You know, wow, you look at Again, that's what it was like working with me. Devin and I were looking for a house with Amy. First couple, I looked at Devin and I said, it's all on you. Cause I would go through the house and go, why is there an hellhole right here? Why? This paint's a little faded. That was me.
Oh,
I was that. Terrible. So I just said, okay, Devin, you got it. And I was way too picky and Devin had a vision that I don't have. You saw the
Let Devin
picture.
and Amy pick a day.
Yeah, well, just slip into it. They did have that vision. But. Yeah. That was terrible. Fun. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Any other?
Some of the notes from when we did it last August.
Mhm.
So, one thing, I think it was Linda who talked to us last time. Maybe. I'm not for sure.
I think so.
But she had said, visit your money every day and treat your financials and your business like you're already earning 1 million. The profit is in the dimes.
Mhm. It's very true. Don't step over dimes to get the dollars. Another good one.
Same quote. She uses that 500.
5 times?
Yep.
Yeah, and you should think like, I mean, does anybody here not want to make $1 million? If they have a mind for that, they said first you have to think $1 million. Then you have to gross $1 million. Then you net $1 million. Then you give $1 million. And that doesn't have to be all at once. Like again, another great story at family reunion we got with the agent in Colorado trying to find a house for a family that had 8 kids, 10 kids, and they were living in a campground out of tents. So they had to drive like 10 miles just to get to the school bus. Right. And they couldn't find a house for them because one, they couldn't afford a lot, and two, there's just not many houses with enough bedrooms to support 8 kids. So the agent that was for them bought them a house. Had it remodeled to where every kid, they each shared a bedroom, but each kid was sharing a bedroom with just one other kid. So it was like a 5 or 6 bedroom house, and the agent bought it for like $200,000 and had it remodeled and fixed up and ready to go, and just said.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Wow.
And he said, because I had the means to do it, why not do it?
Amen.
But, and that's, that's, part of the KW culture. Not to say he wouldn't have done it if he was with another brokerage, of course, but it's a great heart and a great story. Because if you do have the means, it's okay to give it. And giving doesn't have to have a purpose or a motivation or an ultimatum or anything. I thought that was a great story.
Give without expectation.
Mhm. Exactly right. Give with expectations, it's not giving. Like all those people that do good deeds on Facebook and want to take
Yeah.
a picture of them doing a
I
good
hate
deed.
that.
All the couple people out on that, where they don't really, I'm not gonna lie. But not very pleasant to deal with for that. Now that we have introduced, I'm going all kinds of crazy. Now that we introduced the 6 core competencies, the essentials of what your job as a real estate agent entails. There are 2 different ways you can serve your clients, as a functionary or a fiduciary. Do you know the difference? Yeah. Well, tell us, what's the difference?
Functionary is basically living on the low side, low level relationship, little responsibility, low skill. Records information, responds to needs, processes data, delivers information, minimum legal responsibility. You're an employee, you do the task, tell and sell, you stay out of decision making, follow rules and procedures, replaceable and minimally paid. So you're basically only functioning, you're not really growing.
Mhm.
Fiduciary is high level, high relationship, accepts higher responsibility, masters high skill, perceives information, anticipates needs, interprets data, advises and consults, self-directed, maximum legal responsibility, a partner instead of an employee. You own the result, educate and guide, involved in all decision-making, uses judgment and intuition, is irreplaceable and highly paid.
That all makes sense. Yeah, it's just, imagine doing business with like a car repair company. They don't really care about your needs. They just focus on getting the job done and getting paid. Which if you dealt with many car repair companies, that's what most of them do. It's really rare that you find one that's gonna say, hey, I found this, and call you and say, hey, this is the thing, what do you think we should do? You know, a place to get cheaper parts. You know, it's hard to find that. They don't build a relationship with you or stay in touch. Now let's imagine doing business with a different car repair company. This one listens to you, anticipates your needs, helps you make decisions, educates you on the entire process, acts like a partner in the process, keeps you updated on the status of the work, and even follows up after the job. First one's functionary, second one's fiduciary. The fiduciary is one that's going to keep you. Portions in the follow-up. Very true. 100% true. But we also want to build relationships with our clients. We don't want to make them, you don't want them to be transactional. You want to be their agent for life, which essentially you're becoming their friend. You're becoming a small part of their life. Does that make sense? Being a real estate agent, Gary Keller explains a functionary is one who is in a specific task relationship with their clients. They do the job. While a fiduciary is one who not only does tasks for the job, they are also in high trust relationship with their clients and feel total responsibility for the outcome. This is especially important in real estate when people are making their most expensive purchase. So why would a prospective buyer or seller prefer to work with an agent who presents themselves as a fiduciary versus a functionary? Why do you think that?
Nobody wants to work with a robot.
Say that again?
Oh, me? Sorry, I
Yeah.
said no. Nobody wants to work with a robot. I mean,
No,
basically,
yeah, that's very true. Nobody wants to work with a robot.
that's how I took the functionary versus fiduciary, you know.
Yeah, well, that's very true. They're just kind of going about the motions, making sure they get the job done, they get their paycheck and move on to the next one. Almost sounds like a dentist there.
Well, functionary kind of sounds, as if, like, how some people just do a job, it's job to job, doesn't really matter, because you're like, oh, I'll never see those people again. Whereas fiduciary, you really take your job seriously because that's your reputation, that's your business, and those are the relationships you've worked hard to get and to gain.
Yes. Yeah. But we definitely want to lean to the fiduciary side of that. And that was a hard lesson Dad and I learned at the beginning of our business, is learning to be there for the clients and be in a relationship with the clients as opposed to going, hey, they bought a radio. It was huge. Excuse me. Okay, so now I'm supposed to divide you into 5 groups. Yep. Now we're another quick break time. I know we're getting close.
So like, do you recommend printing this out? And not putting it in something? I just didn't know it was so many pages and I didn't want to waste so many. No. I think it's necessary.
Neat. It depends on how you like to take notes and such, like,
I do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Brian Wyatt, we're gonna take about 5 minutes, by the way, guys. Brian Wyatt has everything digital now, so he downloads the PDFs to his computer or his iPad, and he has a pen and he just take notes.
Yeah.
It's how the best way you learn or how you note take. Me, I would print them all out.
I'm a highlighter and a writer.
See, I am too. I just was like,
It really wasn't that expensive when I accidentally printed it in color. Just saying. And I'm glad I printed it out because this is the second time I'm going through it because I missed the first day anyway. And just to be able to write in there, and I got all my little flags and notes, and I put it in a binder and I keep it on my shelf so that it's like, oh, I remember that. Where was that at? Kind of deal. So I'm kind of I like to print my stuff out. But it wasn't super expensive. It may, but just don't print it in color. I mean, you can, but it's more expensive.
I don't care about paying for it. I was just.
Yeah, I printed today at home and then really though, my little printer, it'll run out of ink in about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to print the rest at the office.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Yes. Like I said, you get 50 free copies in black and white, and after that, it'll be, it's like a nickel or 6 cents.
I haven't printed anything like from a computer yet, so you push print, and
I
then
need
you
to
go.
I need to download the drivers on your laptop.
Okay. Does that work on an iPad too then?
No.
I assume? No.
I can't print from an iPad because iPad won't do they can't do network printing. Their drivers will not accept network printing.
That's a song.
My stomach keeps growling.
about
I
order?
swear y'all can all hear. I was like, "Whoa."
I'm saying, the good news is we have Rudy's just right there. And it's great
You're
food.
ordering
And
from
it's,
where?
Rudy's.
It's just the little walk down here.
so you pass it on your way to the coffee shop. It's
Yeah.
real good food.
Really?
And it's not very expensive either. And you can get anything from salmon to a cheeseburger
Corn nuggets.
or corn nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you print back? to cut down
Yes.
some of that?
Well, yes, I did. Also because I like to use one book. So it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's about 300 some pages. But if you do front to back, they have some pages available for notes. They leave space for notes and
Right,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
when I printed mine, it was stuck like with other agents who were printing things out.
Oh, God.
So I had to go there and sort it out. And then when I was carrying it, I dropped it and they all went.
I would just cry. and I would start-
So while we were going through, I think it was like session 3 or 4, I was working front desk and I was just sitting there and I was putting all these in order. So that's what I have always looked at. So session 1, 2, 3, all the way to work.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
So bad that if I got on one of these, I can print it here.
You have to put the printer here on your laptop.
My laptop's dead, so I don't want to read it at all.
Print it from mine.
Well, like, can I use like one of these
Probably. These computers are old.
and log in my stuff on them?
Mhm. I've got it right here and pulled up, print it. You just type your 4-digit code and set them up.
That's fine. Oh, yeah.
That would be lovely. I mean, too. My laptop needs a new battery. I just ordered one. I was gonna get it fixed, but it's gonna cost $400-500.
Laptop.
Well,
Right,
it's a
yeah.
Mac. I mean, it's a,
The first one right there is Mac.
yeah.
The problem too is,
I don't have a Mac.
you know, right?
Well, he's ordered the battery
Yeah.
for 120, something like that. And he's gonna put it in.
We'll go ahead and get rolling again. If nobody got to go to the bathroom or anything.
Whenever we're done, do you mind print that for me?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yep. We'll do it. The whole book? Okay. That's fine.
Front back though,
Yes.
less trees.
Yes. Yeah, don't hurt the trees too bad. So in this section, we'll be introduced to the daily success system again. Got it. Which is part of your daily night course. The success system, didn't do it that time, gets you in the habit of lead generating while in the company of your fellow participants. This is designed to lead generate in the room with other people. We don't do that because it's like a 2-hour block. Not to say I wouldn't mind that. I would love to have like a monthly lead gen that we call it. Or a bunch of people just come in and lead gen. I love it. Your turn. Who wants to read?
Oh, that's awesome. Nothing else about your business will have as big an impact on it as the number of leads you have.
Absolutely nothing. What?
I just thought of a song, sorry.
Is there a song about lead gen?
No.
Sure there
You
is.
said, you said absolutely nothing, so I'm like, "Dang it." That's stuck in my head.
Yeah, you've already learned your first core competency is lead gen. You know, without leads, your business can't sustain itself. It's not possible. Being a real estate agent states what you have to embrace is the fact that it is the number of qualified leads you have that will either grow your business, keep your business, or put it out of business. Nothing else about your business will have as big of an impact as the number of leads you have. Why do you think cultivating leads are so essential to the success of your business?
You know, cultivate them, they won't ever grow to the part where they trust you enough to choose you as their realtor.
Yeah, you gotta stay in touch. Gotta get that mind share before you can get market share, right? You gotta reach out to them. Do we understand what mind share is? You know what that means when I say mind share? We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wednesday, Friday, yeah, Friday, excuse me. Maybe soft drink. Potato chip, plants. Mind share. That's what's in your brain. Unless you're a crazy northerner, and you think Pepsi for north. Although lead gen and follow up are the most important priorities you have when running and growing a thriving business, sometimes they may feel uncomfortable to do, especially as a new agent. Feeling at ease when talking to people, feeling at ease when talking to people you know and don't know about how you can help them with their real estate needs is a skill that takes time to develop. It's not something that definitely happens overnight. Not everybody's comfortable just walking up there, busting out conversation with strangers, or knocking on strangers' doors, or any of that. Not comfortable for most people, but it can get that way. It takes a little time. Script practice helps. Would you agree? Your script practice help? Mhm. It is a little bit. That's going to be the largest part, being able to lead into what you want to do. It may be 10 a week, it may be 100 a week, depends on how much money you want to make, how much market share you want to take. Just turn it straight. That's the new one in it. Yep. Okay, it's my turn. Accountable people achieve results others can only dream of. In the first session of Ignite, we introduced a 6 personal perspective. This is elaborating on the 6, be accountable. This is a quote from the book, The One Thing. Accountable people achieve results others can only dream of. Accountability is a crucial part of achieving your goals. When you report to someone else on your progress to your goals, you gain more focus and motivation. Would you all agree to that? But I think it does go back to the fact that when you do report, you're not accountable to yourself. You may not always report honestly, or just may not participate in the said accountability. Does that make sense? Accountability is large. People do not like to be held accountable. It is natural to resist accountability. Would you all agree to that? Yeah, so when you start to be comfortable being held accountable, and you start to be comfortable understanding that I did not quite achieve this number, but the fact that I achieved this much is a good thing. Because you're looking for progress, not perfection. Like the 12-week year tells you if you do 85% of your goal, you're doubling your business. And that would be very, very true. Another good book to read, by the way, 12-week year. Got big words and a lot of graphs as well. I'm not a good reader. So in Ignite, we typically partner up with another participant to help each other succeed. I think we should choose accountability partner between the 3 of us that are in here and the 4 of us that are on Zoom. We have Bridget, Tara, Sherry, Tracy. Well, it might be more fun. If I want to assign an accountability partner. That'll be more fun. Because if you have your buddy, then you can have your accountability session, at the keg, eat a burger, drink a beer. You make your calls? Sure. Absolutely did. I know what I've done. Check your budget. Yeah, that's on point. Yes, but you should always have an accountability partner. Provide a safe place to share. Meaning a place to where you feel like you can have a conversation and other people aren't hearing that you don't want them to hear, or you feel safe in the environment. Follow through with your action item. Listen and pay attention while other people share. Set a frequency of checking in with each other. Dig deep to find out why you do the things you do. Respect each other and the process. Create a commitment to stick to it. Be open to receiving feedback and give feedback. Always have each other's best interests in mind. Does that sound very difficult? No. Are we going to choose an accountability partner? Choose one. It'll be in an email. You'll have an accountability partner.
So we don't put on that.
Nope. Nope. No. Again, here's the daily success system.
Hey, you got an early.
Huh?
I said, hey, you got an early.
Are we done?
You're on the success track.
Okay. Doesn't mean we're done. Because there's scripts in the back of your participation.
I don't have a script binder if there's any of the same ones.
Yeah. First session, we introduced the success system. We provided you with a tracker in your participant guide, which is another method of accountability. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. Again, remember when you're talking to your sphere, we're not going to do it in the room. You can use the Ford method to help you build conversation. The first action is to have 10 conversations with people you know. Now that would be people that you're comfortable
Real
talking to.
estate conversation.
Great conversation. Any conversation, because you're practicing having conversation. Using this method, you may wonder what you should say in your conversation. Recall that we, they talked about the Ford method. But why do you suppose the Ford method works as a conversation method?
People like to talk about themselves.
That's true.
Yep. The first thing he said.
Yeah.
Puts the focus on the other person. It shows you that you care about the other person. And it puts the other person at ease. Makes them feel more apt to open up. So what are questions you could ask a member of your sphere about their family, about their occupation, about their recreation, about their dreams? Just think about that. I'm not asking you to say them out loud, but think about people think about questions you could ask them. Maybe there's questions you should have been asking that you haven't been. I know there always are for me. I've got people that I should reach out to that I haven't. Besides the Ford method, you can always share gratitude and appreciation with people that you know. They will appreciate you for that. Anything. Just send them a text and say, You know, hey, thanks for the positive uplift on Facebook. Or it could be a written note. The second activity on the success tracker is to add 10 contacts to your database. Of course, Molly can't fully do that yet until she gets her database, but she will. As soon as we get the first punch handed out to Kara. Contacts are people you've agreed to be in a two-way relationship with. So there's a difference in a lead and a contact. A lead, you haven't had the agreement yet to be in a two-way conversation, but you do have their contact information to be in a one-way conversation. Does that make sense? Like you can send them emails, they may not respond. You will start with people in your sphere. So those people already know you, they trust you, so it'll be a little bit easier to have those conversations. So I know you know how to add a contact in command, and you do too. Molly doesn't know what command looks like yet, so.
I got a little one added last night. Stephanie Rogers was showing.
Oh, good. Good. Excuse me. So any ahas? None?
Or just like a whole chapter and probably the whole section.
It's a good chapter, it really is. And the success system is really good. You follow that system and monitor yourself with those. Definitely lead gen, definitely track your money. The contract to close will come. That's going to come with experience. Learning how to deal and negotiate is going to come with experience. Learning how to handle inspectors will come with experience. You're not going to know those things off the top of your head. Lead gen, manage your money. The rest you'll learn. The success system. And we decided that 10 likes, 5 comments in one post. Mhm.
What's enrichment? Did we talk about
Enrichments are something you're doing yourself. You're celebrating your success. Those are your enrichments for yourself. That's essentially what they are. Excuse me. See, that's scroll through really fast. I'm not missing anything in my notes.
Well, it's a roll call.
Mhm. So that you're supposed to start your lead gen with this. By getting your mindset right, we do this with, this is an affirmation. Right, so remember in bold, we should do the affirmation. This is, I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with you. That is an affirmation you should run through your brain or say out loud. I know a lot of people feel affirmations are weird, but they do help. They do help. Because once you do it, if you do it every day, it becomes a mindset. But you're speaking it into existence quite often. And then now practice introducing yourself. So you'll say, my name is Ben with Keller Williams Experience Realty. Hard to practice. If you want to practice it, you'll sound like me trying to say success system. Hi, this is Ben with Keller. So you will want to practice introducing yourself. Bless you. Bless you. See, more than 3, you're just trying to get attention. So my mother.
I usually stop at 2.
Hey, you usually stop at 2. Okay. See, so they typically, we do, if there's a role play, we do not do. But it's something you can do on your time at home. So you would spend time preparing your conversation, pair up with a partner, whether it's a spouse, a friend, somebody on the phone, Zoom somebody. Video record each other practicing your conversation. Then I had to do that for 5 weeks. I had to video myself doing lead gen for an hour and then send it. That was part of my class. Prepare your conversation list. Now, this is huge. When you're lead genning, it's not just off the cuff. You want to know who you're calling, why you're calling them, and be scripted to remember what to say. So if you're calling expireds today, make sure they're not listed. Make sure they're, still off the market, call them. Make sure you have scripts prepared around them and around the objections that you will get. You always want to be prepared to lead gen. And then heaven forbid somebody actually answer the phone. when you're calling. Now you have to have a conversation, right? Without saying, hi, this is Haley, I want your money. That's not what you want to sound like. You want to help them. You're still interested in selling your home. I have some buyers that they're interested in a home just like yours. Now you've thrown them off. They don't think you're trying to list their house. They're trying to think you're helping them sell their house. Now they're going to open up. Small things like that. Because when houses get expired, people call them. Bunches. Start calling. Always maintain your database. You'll learn to call it your data bank. It's very important. The real play part is the part in class that we would start calling people. That's right. Nobody likes to sound like they're in a telemarketing room. Update your contacts always after you lead gen. Always update your contact list in your database. Your database is probably the most important piece of information that you're going to have as an agent. And you want it to be more than your telephone. Even if it's just an Excel spreadsheet, have a database. Always celebrate your own successes. You call your accountability partner. Hey, I got 3 appointments this week. Hey, I made all my calls. Anything you want to do, call somebody, post them in our group page. That would be awesome. You'll start lead genning and say, hey, I did my first day of lead genning and I set this many appointments. We get all kinds of people on there. Hey, great job. I need to do that myself. There'll probably be about 60 of them.
Yeah.
But do that. Always celebrate your successes with yourself. You can say every time I get an appointment, I get a glass of wine. Except for you, because you're underage. I pointed at Elena, by the way. But celebrate something. And if you're lucky, by the end of the day, you're hammered. You've got all kinds of appointments. It's legion easier. What's up?
That's the missing part.
Is that the missing part?
Yeah.
So our next session will be tomorrow morning. Now, if the roads are bad for any reason, I will send an email out early and probably a group text early. When I say early, it's like 6:30 or 7 o'clock.
Well, I gotta make it before 7.
So yeah.
Well, be 6. I get up early. So
If there's any-
yeah, well, I will probably Zoom it from my house. is what I'm saying. If we have
Well, I
to.
just Zoom tomorrow anyways.
That's fine. That is fine. So give me some ahas about the class today. Photo session, any session. Anybody?
Little tidbit about treating your financials like you already.
Mhm.
Something that I can't remember. Was it from the last time? I can't remember. But anyway, jot it down. I think that's great.
It is a great tip.
Cause it's like, oh, I'll wait until I'm making money to really, track all this stuff and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh. Oh dear.
Well, that's true. Then you're, but if you, on one point, but another point, you're in a different tax bracket. Don't throw back like 57% of your money.
Correct.
Any other ahas? I'm getting ready to say yahas. I have no idea. Say that. I don't know what it is. Bridget, do you have any ahas while you're on here?
The whole
Anything?
thing, aha. I'm learning. All of it is an aha for me. I loved it.
Oh, good. Good. Tara, do you have any? Yahas?
Yeah.
Yeah, the main one I think was when we wrote down the goals we wanted and how much monetary that was. That was a big aha moment for me.
Good. Did you get Sherry? Do you have any? Yes.
I didn't know on the KW app that, I didn't know how you said how we could set that up about as far as when we send it. I know that's irrelevant to the class, but
No, it's still an aha. It was mentioned. It was part of the class also. We did talk about the KW app a bit. I can show you how to set that up, Sherry.
okay, thanks. Everything else was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Haley, do you have a specific aha?
I mean, all of it was really good to me, but the Ford method,
Mhm.
just knowing what to talk about, what they want to talk about. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like you're just being pushy with the conversation.
Oh, yes, that's a hard, almost mindset and limiting belief to get over. Because like I said, our intention to call is to talk about real estate, but our real purpose is to try to make a connection. You know, if you look at it like that, you know, I'm trying to build my relationship. I'm trying to strengthen a relationship. I'm not trying to take your money today. I'm just trying to talk to you, get in your life, let you know, hey, this is what I do. And when you start talking about other people's job, like Elena said, they're gonna kick back and ask you guys your job going. It's going great. Just jumped into real estate. It's fun. Oh, you're an agent? What are interest rates? That'll be your first question. That's good. That is good. Elena, what was the big one? I didn't pick on Holly Sherry.
I like when we went over the big why and also the mission statement,
Mhm.
because I don't think I really paid that much attention to the mission statement until we went over it here. And then I think that's basically probably one of my big whys, because you want to have something different than just working an ordinary job, just 9 to 5. You want to have a career worth having, like that changes other people's lives and, you know, helps other people. So I think that's my big aha.
I think we all get caught up in the glamour of real estate and making a ton of money, which is possible. I mean, it's out there for everybody to do that. But at the end of the day, we are helping people reach a huge dream in their life a lot of times. I mean, imagine the face on that, 22-year-old that's buying their very first house. And when they get approved, yay, they find one and they get that offer accepted, yay. I mean, you're lighting up somebody's world and you're a part of it. It's pretty amazing. I didn't get that in radio. People didn't get excited about it. They got excited when they could talk and tell all their, vehicles would come back in, but, but there wasn't really joy and elation.
Right.
To a radio. Fun and watching a guy climb a tower and build one. That was fun. Be 400 feet in the air with nothing but a vinyl strap holding you up and locking 4.5. The guy we hired, he climbed the NORAD tower in North Dakota, 2,025 feet up.
Is that the one in that movie,
Mhm.
Paul?
Yeah,
We just watched that like a week ago. I had to watch it.
yeah, it's just all intense. Okay, yeah.
That was so good. Watch that, and that was up there with one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
It was
that part's
good.
pretty good. He said that tower, it sways 10 feet one way or the other the whole time you're up there. It just 2,000 feet off the ground, swaying back and forth. All it's doing is changing a light bulb.
It's not worth it.
There's no amount of savings to do that.
No, same. So any other questions or ahas you want to talk about? Did it make you feel any better or worse about your real estate career today?
So,
Both?
yeah, like
That's
know what
fair.
to do and know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Hope you're good. Well, like I said, tomorrow we'll start at the same time. If the weather's bad, it'll be Zoom. If it's not, I'll be back here in Murray. And I'm not very smart, so if the weather's bad, I may be in Murray anyway. I may Zoom from here. I'm just one of those people and they say, it's too bad to drive. We'll see about that. So it may be, I might be Zooming from my phone on the side of the road on 641 too. So
See, I always err on the side of caution. I was like,
I need to. Any other questions or comments from the Zoomers?
You had talked about a book, I believe, by Gary Keller, and I forgot to write that down.
There's the millionaire real estate agent that we talked about, and the one thing, and Shift.
Hmm.
Three we talked about.
What was the last one?
Shift.
Okay.
HIFT.
I couldn't hear very good on Zoom. I apologize.
That's okay. I promise I'm not
All right.
cussing.
I'm trying to find good. Okay.
I did in Paducah twice in one meeting. Just
Okay.
saying Shift, let the F out.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, I appreciate y'all
Yeah.
jumping on. Thank you. And I hope to see you all and more of you tomorrow. So thank you all very much.
Thanks, Ben.